Hello, friends.
Hi guys.
How are we doing this fine Sunday?
Oh,
How are
I
we
mean,
all?
I hope doing fine. I hope we're doing
I'm
great. It's only
we're
the surface of the sun, maybe like the outer surface of the
yeah,
sun,
like
right?
we've surpassed Satan's taint and we've gone to the corona layer of the
I
fucking
think if we
sun.
listen close enough, we can kind of hear like we're coming close to where Phoenix is chilling. We can just
Hmm.
hear him
Hmm.
screaming perpetually. I think we're
Yep,
close
and
to there.
becoming ever stronger,
Ever stronger, ever
ever
angrier
stronger.
too.
I'm waiting
I
for
don't
that.
think
Like
as angry as we'll be.
the wizard anniversary movie is gonna be him coming back as a fucking god.
The 50-year fucking movie.
Yeah.
How does it's just gonna be like just chilling on his porch, like, ain't this grand? And then the sun is just gonna like supernova.
Yep. Ridiculous. It's been a weekend, Peacemaker. What's going on? What's up? What?
What's up, Peacemaker? How you been, bro?
uh, yeah. So today.
Oh,
Oh God.
oh yeah,
Oh
we're
yes.
catching up on stuff.
Vince retired from the WWE.
Okay, I have wanted to talk about something about that. I don't really, want to get into the nasty shit, but does
Apparently,
that
he's not a
mean
great person to work for. That's
no?
all I know.
Absolutely not. And he never was, but we knew that from like the beginning.
Yeah.
Like anybody who knows Vince McMahon should automatically make his name synonymous with douche.
Yeah.
Like it's fine because that's his character. The Vince McMahon attitude era dude
Hmm.
is not contrived. You know what I mean? That's not something that's like, oh, well, imagine if no, that's him
That's just him.
hamming it
Okay.
up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
He dials it like
anyway,
one notch higher, but that's pretty much him.
that was him being able to do that shit. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like as with the excuse of it's part of my show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always my father was a fan and got me into it, and even him knowing that what it used to be, with Gorilla Monsoon and all Papa McMahon
Yeah.
was also kind of a mogul dick. You know what I mean? It's just genetics. So the only one I'm worried what I was worried about is, does this mean wrestling is finally going to get good again?
People have been really into was it the NWE? Is that what the new one is?
AEW,
AEW.
yeah, and
Yeah.
now they're going like a negative route. Like I guess their plots aren't. I don't know. It's kind of what made me bow out of wrestling again. I had got back into it, and then when Ronda Rousey got a belt, I'm like, no.
So you're telling me
So
World Japan Wrestling is still the top dog?
in terms of what you're looking for performances, yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Um,
All right.
but I mean, like the whole thing is like I like Japanese wrestling, but
Hmm.
I grew up with the theatrics of the Attitude Era. You know what I mean? I know it
Hmm.
is what it is, but that's what I signed up for. Damn it!
Yeah.
So give me that, and we haven't had anything like that since fucking John Cena. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, I'm still
I
angry, but
I fell out around the and this was a very short-lived era, I might say, but it was around the Chris Benoit was a household name era. I think it was like the first WrestleMania.
yeah.
So
And
that
we're
he
just gonna
that
leave
he
that name out there in the ether.
yeah, I heard
Fizzle
some
out.
shit happen. I honestly don't follow any of it. That's all I know.
Well,
But that was like when
yeah.
Shawn Michaels had his return, Triple H and him
Yeah.
were doing their thing.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
After The Rock left in 2003-ish, when Brock Lesnar took over, things changed majorly. And
That was about when I
you know,
fell out. Like he was
yeah,
the new like shit,
the
right?
new guy.
Like
He was the new monster
he
that
was the
took
new
everybody
hot
out.
thing.
Yeah. And when he broke his fucking neck, I'm like, that's what you get, you fucking jackass.
Oh,
Like
he
again,
actually broke it. That wasn't like a
well,
theatric.
he did like, a moon dive and fucked that up because he shouldn't be doing moon dives when he was that big, but I guess, they wanted to push the match. And I understand the desire for it, but bro,
Yeah.
practice it. You know what I mean? Like, don't just pull that shit out your
Yeah.
ass.
Like you are
Um,
300 pounds of pure muscle.
the
Please.
only person who I've seen improvise and impress me is legitimately Kevin Owens because I know how he's basically us with more cardio. You know what I mean? Like he can go where we might need an extra 25 minutes
Yeah.
to breathe. But to see him do shit that with a little work I can physically equate. You know what I mean? I'm not
Yeah.
trying to do a triple axel moonsault. I'm just trying to do a dope stone cold stunner. I can do that shit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I don't know. The fact that he does do the stone cold stunner too is ballsy, but I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I'm all right with it.
Peacemaker is recommending the Dark Side of the Ring documentary.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
I've
that was
actually
good
never
one.
heard of that until right now. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to watch all of those specials in some point or another,
Mhm.
like Beyond the Mat and all those. And it was really a reality check of don't meet your heroes because they're dicks. And
Mhm.
the reality is a lot of wrestlers are fucking weird people,
Yeah.
and as are many artists. You know what I mean? Like essentially, it's what it is. You're an artist in an industry that requires you to be more physical than most others. But you're bringing forth a character. You're bringing forth a dance, so to
Mhm.
speak. That I don't know. It speaks to the ideal of a hero worship. You know, you
Yeah.
have your bad guys. Some people like the bad guys more. So it's I don't know. It's Toku in another venue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I actually have heard multiple times that, I mean, so I don't know if I've ever talked about the Venn diagram on the show. I know you and me have talked about it, the Venn diagram of overlapping things. And I think Toku, fighting games, and wrestling are just like a three-way Venn diagram where they all overlap with one another at some point or another in some capacity. And then in the center, there's like our dumbasses.
And the guy in the center is Rey Mysterio and all the luchadors from Mexico. Like
and El Fuerte and El Blaze.
Like, Rey Mysterio legitimately wore like I think a Ranger tribute type of thing with all his masks.
I remember that. He had like the gold like dragon shield thing going on.
Yeah, and when I saw that, I was freaking out. But that was like a moment where I'm like, there it is. That's the tie. People are gonna see that and kind of be curious because Rey Mysterio is a name that could do that.
Yeah,
you know, like, oh wow, that's a dope ass costume design. What is that?
Yeah,
it's a fucking Power Ranger, bro.
don't ask questions. It's a Power Ranger. That's like when they did the I would like to see like a series of like how they did the luchador Marvel Pops kind of thing. I would like to see a series of like luchador Toku heroes. I think that'd be kind of cool.
There's one legend that I know the name of. I'm not 100 on his legacy, but his name is Mil Máscaras, and he basically is what transcended the masked luchador in popular culture.
Okay.
He brought it to a level that it was never before. They call him Mil Máscaras, 1,000 masks, or some shit like that.
The depth of my knowledge for the Mexican wrestling scene is Lucha Underground. You know, when that was on Netflix, I went through about 3 seasons of that. And
how many were there? Because I saw some, and then I was like, okay, they have everybody who just kind of bowed out of WWE too.
There was like 4 or 5 on Netflix for a while. I don't know how many there was total. But that's where like Pentagon Dark / Junior / whatever he calls himself now, and people like that came from.
But that's where excuse me, what I saw, what I remember, and you can clarify. That's where the theatrics became a little too much.
Yeah, they had a guy, El Drago, who would literally turn into a dragon. They literally made a CG dragon at one point.
Wait,
I'm not joking. What? This is a very real thing that happened. This dude straight up had dragon superpowers and would also turn into a physical dragon and fly away.
I'm not mad.
But like his thing was also like
was it like the Mortal Kombat Annihilation Dragon where it just kind of the same thing every time?
Yes. But imagine Mortal Kombat Annihilation like wrestling gear. Like his suit was actually pretty sick. It was almost like leathery, skinny. I think his name was El Drago. But he would wear like black lipstick and kind of like smear it around a little bit, and he would spit like poison at people and shit like that. It was kind of cool. It was like a deep gimmick, but it was very cool.
Oh wow,
pretty sick, right? Like to be fair, regardless of the character, it's a pretty sick outfit.
Dude went the full.
He went hard. Like he's got a tail that flops around sometimes.
There you go. I'm gonna drop this for you so you can see this brilliance. This guy actually. Okay, you know what? I'm not even mad at it.
It's kind of dope. It's kind of dope.
I dig it now. If he went the full gamut and fucking embraced it, I'm digging it. Oh, does it load?
Nope. I don't know what you sent, but that is a terrifying file.
Yeah, don't open that. Thanks, Google. Anyway, when it comes to that's what I noticed that the theatrics of that were just a bit too much for me, and I'm like,
I think that's why I was hooked, because like normal wrestling was like, this is interesting, but like, you know, there was the one part where Undertaker like struck a lightning bolt onto the ring. You know what I'm talking about? There's shit like that.
Yeah, that happened like once a year.
That's what I'm saying. And this Lucha Underground was like every episode, crazy shit like that was happening.
I miss the pyros so much though from the WWF, the good era.
Yeah.
those pyros always like in the beginning of the episodes. Come on, man, that always got people hyped. I think I found safe pictures of El Drago. Let me try again, guys. I apologize for giving squades to your computer.
Goodness gracious.
There you go. He's not. I mean, I like the blue. The wings are very Jeepers Creepers. Holy crap.
Yeah, he would like rotate colors and things like that. They would all be kind of, whatever. So it would, but it's like it's a pretty sick costume. It is in the Discord if you guys want to check it out. If you're checking out the audio version, there'll be a link in the show notes below. You guys are all in the Discord at this point, hanging out in chat, so you guys can check it out. But that's El Drago.
He took the Monster Hunter dragons and just now he's
made a wrestling suit out of them. It's sick. I liked him a lot. I was a fan of him. I don't know like really where his story went. And he didn't wear this whole getup the whole time. Like he would take off the chest piece, so it was really just like the shoulders and the helmet.
Gotcha.
He didn't wear like the full armor the whole time, but he would come into the ring and like peel that off, that kind of thing.
And it's kind of like all this to tie into getting into today. That's kind of what I've been doing is like a lot of nostalgia shit.
Mm-hmm.
The other week I took a year of movie releases, and I've been like watching whatever was the hottest movie from that year.
Mm-hmm.
I started in 2000. Lord of the Rings is still in my head.
Okay.
But I'm in my all-time favorite year of movie releases, 2002.
Oh boy.
If you look at, and I think I told you before, back in college, I wrote a paper on this year of movie releases for, I forget whose fucking class. One of them stupid classes where we had to do some kind of stupid shit.
Yeah.
But
like business management or some bullshit.
Something like that. Yeah, it's 2002 when that year, all the movie releases of that year were bangers, blockbusters, and the beginnings of sagas that are still going on now.
I think that was roughly the year the first Underworld came out.
Underworld, Resident Evil, Transporter.
I don't know if I'd call Resident Evil a blockbuster though.
It's I said sagas that continue even now.
That is a dirty, stinky saga. That is for sure.
Also, other movies that also reestablished genres, like Equilibrium came out that year. 28 Days Later came out that year.
Okay, now we're talking.
Came out that you know what I mean. All these Solaris, John Q, all these strong movies, and one in particular that I completely forgot came out in 2002, Spider-Man.
Oh, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Tobey Maguire Spider-Man came out 2002.
Nice.
And now that I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna watch all the Spider-Man again. Like that. Now I know what I'm gonna do for the next couple weekends is catch up on that because I need to re-experience Spider-Man 3 like everybody else did.
Yeah.
Because I always thought that Andrew Garfield is my preferred Spider-Man just because of the emotional performance.
Yeah.
But I'll give Tobey a shot again.
I like Tobey. People have their opinions about it. It's fine. 2 is obviously like a much better movie. That's the one that people shoot for.
Right.
2. But I enjoyed those movies when they came out, and I would probably still enjoy them if I watched them again. I have yet to see the new Spider-Man where he comes back. I have pretty much gone dark on the Marvel movies until I watch that one because I know that's pretty integral to the stuff that's going down.
That's kind of the thing. I know,
or at least the kickoff to it. It may not be integral, but it's at least the kickoff to it. So
yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have the same emotional connection to Tobey just because it's like him as Spider-Man. But to get that catharsis again, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. K20 coming in here spitting trash and throwing slang and insulting everyone with blade trash. And then he was asking if you saw the Ring of Honor pay-per-view last night.
I have not. I have not seen any Ring of Honor stuff. So please update me.
Yep. Yes. And Peacemaker saying the Netflix RE thing is terrible.
Do you want? Have you seen anything on that?
I have not seen. I've seen that it is terrible. That is the only thing I've seen, and I know that everything is supposedly canon from the games, but this takes place.
No,
after.
It's not. No. If that's the case, that's not possible. Not possible.
No, the creator may have just been trying to cover his ass and said, yeah, all the stuff in the games happened. It's just we choose to acknowledge it or not if it happened.
Between this RE thing and the Rings of Power, I am hurting physically.
Did that actually start? Rings of Power?
I don't think it has started yet, but I'm afraid when it does.
Yeah.
The bastardizations and the message that they're just pushing in everything anymore doesn't make sense now. Like it was fine if it made sense, but it doesn't make sense when you have to change everything for it. Why not just make something unique? If you have to take something that all you're doing is essentially just feeding off the name, you're already setting yourself up to piss off everybody. And then the whole game is, oh, you shouldn't be mad if you're a real person. No, if you're a real person, you would make your own shit rather than just trying to ruin shit for everybody for $1. But they're gonna do it anyway. You know what I mean? And it's so disheartening. Dude, the Rings of Power. I don't even as bad as RE is. It's as nearly unwatchable as this RE series is. And Peacemaker, if you've seen the whole thing, I think I got 3 episodes in, and I don't know how Jade is the protagonist. I don't know how this is the main character. It does not make sense. This is not how you write human beings. This is not how you write people you're supposed to be sympathetic towards. She's a complete asshole and is the reason everything goes to shit because of her. You know what I mean? Like,
she's Wesker's daughter. Is that what it is?
Well,
one of
technically,
them?
Sure, whatever. Like, even that, I don't even know, because now that I've only seen up to the 3rd episode, I know the whole like plot, and I don't think it gets any better. Like, it is insanity how this got made, and how Lance Henriksen, I forget how to say
the guy from RE6, that guy. That kid?
No, the actor.
That was Wesker's
actual actor
son.
in John Wick. Oh no, not Jack. He's not even in this. He's not. It's not even the same Wesker. It's not Wesker. It's some kind of Wesker. There's some kind of shenanigans, but it's not Wesker.
Hang on now. Pause for one moment, because Mark not only resubscribed for 3 months, but he's about to leave in a limo for his wedding, by the way.
Bro, Mark, homie, congratulations, my boy.
Congratulations, man.
This is a special day for you, and
we're gonna make it a special episode just for you.
I can't wait to ruin my hot
I can't wait to ruin everyone's stuff on Revice. That's the special service we're gonna do for you today.
We're gonna just shit all over Revice.
If you want, do you want to just put us on real loud on your phone or something while you're getting married?
Yeah, you know what, bro? I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm actually ordained. I can do the whole thing on the car ride, and you can just have your fun later.
Yeah,
I got your back.
Yeah, if you want, we can do that. You want me to just like start screaming every henshin phrase for the next 2 hours?
Yes, especially evilities, and you have to spell every single letter
evil
as you
titties.
say it.
Evil titties. I'm just gonna scream evil titties for the next 2 hours. How about that, Mark?
Perfect.
Just for you, my man. But no, seriously, congratulations.
Happy marriage.
Yes. Happy marriage.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Let's honor Mark with a good
This speech will be you guys praising Blade. We are gathered here today to praise the King, the Lord, and everything in between. Blade.
Blade and Jack Fusion have graced us today. Queen, absorb Queen. You will absorb Queen. Sorry. Anyway,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, I got nothing else for that. That's fucking dope that you're getting married.
Yeah, I don't even remember what we were talking about, but yeah, a very henshin wedding. That's a great way to call it. I'm sure your wife will be very pleased with us interrupting.
All right, Mark. So for the last thing, if it doesn't happen for yours, this is still an option for mine. I expect nothing less for everybody than to show up looking dapper with a helmet on. Okay.
Yep.
Nothing less. I dropped it in the Discord, but just for references. Black suit, nice helmet, you're in.
Yep, that's what we're doing. Later, dude. Go get married. Go enjoy your day.
Do that thing. Enjoy your day.
Yeah.
Happy honeymoon. All that fun stuff.
Yes. K20's asking if I saw the Phase 5 and 6 Marvel stuff. I did. We can talk about it in the news when we get to it.
Yeah. I know of the stuff. I don't know intimately most of it though.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we'll talk about it when we get to the news. We'll take a look at it, see what that list is like, because it's basically Toku. Let's be honest here.
Technically Toku.
Yeah. So for me, my week, I don't even know what I fucking did this week. Jesus. What did I do? Oh my goodness. Oh, the Strangers of Paradise DLC came out. We're going to be checking that out, where you actually fight the Warrior of Light, which is kind of cool. Like his crew actually rolls in.
Whoa, like, okay.
Yeah,
but
like
is it like Rebirth where they're changing the story, or is it
I don't know. So we have about 4 missions left in the main story before we can access the DLC. And now we're getting to this point where Jack is, you know, from the trailers and everything, obviously he's Garland. But they're going into this whole like timeline remix, which was in the first game. Like the timelines were a thing in the first game. Right. But the whole thing seems to be this kind of weird science experiment kind of thing where all of the crystals are holding your memories. And it's kind of interesting because these crystals are like how they remember when they're reborn, sort of thing, in their new timeline or whatever. The elemental crystals, yeah.
Oh, shit.
And then all of the greater fiends, the arch fiends, whatever they're called, that are guarding these crystals are actually your party members from like alternate timelines, which is kind of cool. So they're kind of doing like a DMC5 thing where like the bosses are your party. So that's rolling into the last little bit. I'm excited to see how we get to like fighting the Warrior of Light, because in the trailer they do this really cool thing where Jack or the Warrior of Light does the very, you know, Final Fantasy 1 where he's standing there with his party about to fight Garland, and Garland has his big dumb sword and he stands up, and then it like shifts and glitches out and Jack walks forward. It's really cool. It's a really cool effect. And then you just start the boss fight against the Warrior of Light. So I'm excited to see where that goes.
I thought he was gonna like Terminator 1 in and just kind of like
no, I mean, that might happen. I have no idea. That'd be kind of cool too. But no, they do a really cool like glitch out kind of thing, and it's just Jack, and he replaces Garland in his big dumb armor. So
I can't remember Final Fantasy that well, but was it really that much allusion to like aliens and future shit and like technology beyond what they knew?
Not in the first one. The first one was really kind of like, I feel like timey-wimey magic nonsense. It wasn't really like sci-fi.
So they're shoehorning this, but it's kind of working.
It's working pretty nice. I like it. I'm digging it. I mean, it's not the strongest story in the world. I'm not gonna front about that.
I don't think it was supposed to be.
No,
I think they're trying this out because
it's a Souls game made by Team Ninja, the Ninja Gaiden guys. Like, you're not gonna get the most in-depth story ever. Like, I couldn't even tell you the story to Neo 1 and 2 other than it's like the Warring States era.
What did Hayabusa want at all?
Doesn't matter. I fucking cut him down.
What was it? I just hi,
yeah,
and then die constantly.
Yeah. I was like, what's that? All right, give me your demon. Okay, bye. So
Sigma, why did I even try?
Yeah, they added 3 new classes or jobs, whatever you want to call them. Pretty cool. Oh, nice. One of them is a straight up summoner, which is kind of sick. You can use Bahamut just as a stand, essentially.
What?
Yeah, it just comes out, it does its thing, and you just let it rock, and you're still running around doing whatever nonsense you want to do.
Fucking dope. Okay.
Yeah, and they added a new weapon for the staves. It does some casting stuff, but it can also just do like a chain whip kind of thing, so you can bop people from like halfway across the screen.
So is it a switch, or is it just?
It's kind of. Did you ever see the staff in Neo?
No. I don't think
so it can like separate and extend. It's called the split staff, so it can like break into commas, or not commas, like Arnie sticks, a screama, but it can also like extend, and it has like chains on the end of it, so it can like hit things from way far away if it needs to. They kind of took that and like dumbed it down a lot, because I think a lot of people had a lot issues with that. I really like that weapon.
I don't know. That looks weird to you.
It's weird because it's a lot of like, you can either hit the button short taps and do a regular like staff combo, or you can hold it, and that's when you get like the chains to whip out, and it does different attacks kind of thing. So you have to alternate the timing to do it correct in Neo. This new stave thing is kind of similar, but it's kind of a dumbed down version where it's like, I don't have all of the options I would have had with the staff in Neo, so I'm not feeling it as much. I'm still, bare hands, Izuna dropping and fucking rider kicking things all over the place. So if you're gonna give me the option, it's gonna happen. So
if you can Izuna drop and power muscle bomb anybody, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. Like as soon as I unlocked Izuna drop, I was like, it's over. Why are we even picking another weapon? This is crazy. You pick 2 classes. I was like, we already locked one in. It's fine.
I don't even like just because I'm feeling so nostalgic. Like, I think the first Izuna drop I ever saw was Yoshimitsu. I'm pretty sure.
That was probably mine, but the one that like burns into my mind is from Ninja Gaiden, like the first 3D one. On like Xbox. Like I probably saw it in like Tekken 1 or 2 or even 3 before that, but like the one that really sticks out to me is when he would do it in Ninja Gaiden. And and it being Team Ninja, it looks beautiful when you Azuna drop in this, because you're just like uppercut into the fucking Azuna drop, and it's so dope. So that's really all I've been doing this week. Not too much otherwise, just still doing my boxing thing. Nice. I sparred for the first time, so that was fun.
And yeah, I mean, when you said it, I'm like, I felt this rush of like, dude, fuck yeah, because it's such an experience when you get in there. Mm-hmm. Like it really divides people, because I realize sparring that I don't like getting punched at all, like at all. Mm-hmm. But that's why I know I am not a clean fighter. You will get smashed with everything in the room if I come out, walking away. I don't care. But
we're going to talk about Aguilera's finishing move. That's Rob's finishing move.
All right. So yeah, speaking of Aguilera, catching up with Revice was
fucking something.
An experience.
That was a roller coaster of why am I still watching this, and wow, that was okay, and okay, this was pretty interesting. We continued from 35, I believe it was, when we had
we left off after Kaishi's performance.
Yeah, his ploy, Oscar-worthy performance. His Frieza impersonation, where he clears the throat and goes, Gifu-sama!
Nailed it though. Like, the overacting really sent it home, because if he had just like treated it deadpan, mm-hmm. I don't think it would have worked. I think it would have been even worse, because of the fact that he was like, you know what I'm saying, like the whole time.
And that also introduced one of my least favorite riders in this entire show, Overdemons. It was premiere of Overdemons for what's his face. I don't even know his goddamn name. I really don't like this character.
It's Kamen Rider.
Yeah. So he unfortunately is like kind of the main focus for like 3 or 4 of these episodes, and all 3 or 4 of those I was very bored, and I did not care, because I do not like this character. He does
it drags
literally nothing for me.
and it's unearned. It's so shoehorned. And like, here's his fucking character development in 3 episodes, and his character development is due to what happens around him. He makes no decisions other than to react. And the
only reason he even has a rider belt is because he asked for it. It had nothing to do with fighting some inner demon or having some kind of personal realization. He just goes, hey man, I don't want to be a useless bitch. Can I have a driver?
So all right, so basically, we pick up after Akaishi successfully convinces most of the planet to submit to Gifu, mm-hmm. and it gets really fucking meta these next couple episodes in reference to everything that was going on.
As everyone starts to move to this Google town.
So it's very meta. It's very uncomfortable, because it's like, you could tell if this wasn't a reflection of reality, it would feel weird. And now that it's like, hey, you get it? We fucking get it, man. Like, it's depressing enough to think about in reality. Why are you doing this to us here? So anyway, so they force this plot where people are dividing themselves into the stamped and unstamped, mm-hmm. and the people who want to fight for freedom and the people who want to fall in line. And that is the plot for the next 10 episodes. And just
quite
the
literally.
Escalation of that. The escalation of what happens to a community that's divided in itself for no legitimate reason other than people need conflict. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like and it gets even more meta when they start doing disinformation bullshit. Like, I'm like, wow, why are you going this route? You have so many other stories to tell.
It's as subtle as a ball pin hammer.
and it impacts just as smoothly. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking terrible. And I feel bad, because I really was, I think, leading up to this stretch of episodes, I was coming around to the story. I thought that they were coming back and they mm-hmm. were focusing on what they needed to. And with this, it was such a 3-4 steps back narratively that I can't even believe that we're now on episode 45, 46, and I feel like we've gone nowhere narratively other than introduce one major thing. You know what I mean?
So the last chunk, I even said, like, Revice isn't necessarily sticking with me, but I did enjoy the last chunk of episodes we watched. And this one, yeah, I minus like maybe 2 or 3 episodes, if that, maybe 2.5. I genuinely was bored out of my mind. And I honestly, like, I don't care about a lot of these characters, and that's kind of the issue I have with it. Like I feel like they're trying to force these big emotional moments for characters that, like, I have no connection to whatsoever. And part of that might just be I just don't connect with this show. You know what I mean?
No.
And please, as someone who connects with it more, tell me how it is. But, like, I genuinely feel like a lot of these, like, deep, dark moments, which we do get 1 or 2 solid, like, cool ideas, it's just who it happens to and the circumstances of it, I feel like could have been a lot more detrimental because they happen to characters I genuinely don't give a shit about. So,
fair enough. Yeah. I mean, legit, it felt like because they focused on the unfortunate, and I wrote it in my notes, and when I wrote it, I felt dirty, but it's true. They focused on the B team to fill this span of episodes with a C and D plot that was, again, I just feel like from 36 to 44, 2 things that are of note took place, and all of that could have happened in maybe an episode. Anyway, so to sum up quickly, 36 is essentially just Tamaki. For some reason, they give Tamaki a driver. He works with the Weekend, who knew that he was going to get kidnapped, who knew that they were going to reveal the secret location of where Akaishi and Vale are hiding, so that they set this piece of shit Tamaki up to probably get killed, and they didn't fucking care. And I don't blame them.
I don't either, because, like, Tamaki just sits there, like, crying for the next 10 episodes.
He gets the most disrespected out of all of them, and it's like, yes, fuck you specifically, because Julio, you fell as hard as Olteca, which is another fucking thing, as hard as Olteca fell and through the floor.
Remember when Geef slurped his ass up?
Oh my god, bro. Okay, anyway, so all right, Aguilera gets the driver eventually, of course, and
saw that coming.
Hansons, just because reasons. Like,
how do you feel about this form?
This is where I was leading to, because the one thing that does happen is the revelation of this reject ghost form.
So the second we saw it, I immediately texted you and it was like, why does this look like Ghost's fucking henshin form?
It's such a busy helmet. It looks like if she tilts her head, she kind of has to, like, move with it. It's so top ridiculously heavy. I don't like the design because it doesn't even mesh. It doesn't mesh with anything. As different as Jean looks, it's like the opposite of that. Like, I'm not digging it at all. The Queen Bee idea obviously fits. It obviously is thematic. The color scheme looks way better than Kamen Rider Demons. But other than that, I won't compliment it.
So we had talked about a little bit last week, or last episode. She kind of seems to be getting the Gaim weapons, and it's kind of cool that she gets these Kiwi discs. She uses the strawberry, I think it was strawberry kunai.
Right, yeah. One of the notes I have is actually, like, I hated basically everything about this, the introduction, that it was Vale that they chose to disrespect, and that they introduced this handicap to him. But the actual fight scene and the choreography was really good.
I was gonna say, I was very I am with you with, like I said, this is very much looks like the henshin ghost, or Heisei ghost, I keep saying henshin, Heisei ghost form to me. And it just looks like they repainted some of those, and it's obviously using the Gaim weapons, which is, Gaim weapons are fine. They're all cool weapons. If she got the mango hammer, I wouldn't be mad. I'd probably be really excited about that. But
it's a repaint, so whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever. They're repainting all of them. I liked the fight a lot, actually. I was very impressed by it. I thought it was very well done. It gave her some personality to the way she fights, and then we don't see that ever again for the next 10 episodes.
No, she has the attitude and doesn't back it up ever again, other than when she calls Daiji an idiot at some point. Like, that was kind of cool. But I mean, you feel, and it's unfortunate because as much as they're focusing on them, it really shows how little character they have outside of
Yeah.
the one side of them, because they try to have Tamaki be like this wannabe hero, and Hikaru is like, I'm a hero, right, guys? Like,
Yeah.
I'm cool too.
Wait,
no,
which one?
you are actually
Is Hikaru over demons?
Yeah,
Okay.
demons. Yeah, no, it's
Okay.
demons. Anyway,
Demons.
he is literally the fucking bounce card. You know what I mean? Like,
I just like he's the opener for a concert where there's like 3 people in the crowd going, yeah, and then even them are just talking the whole time. You know what I mean? Like they finish a song and they start clapping because they feel bad. that's this clown. I cannot get over how much I don't like this dude. He is so annoying to me, and I don't understand why he had as much presence as he did, other than to be like, we have so many people. Why we need to round out more of it and do something with them, I guess.
There was 2 moments in here where after they beat Vale and they're all like, hey, good job, guys, way to go. Mm-hmm. And then they immediately cut to fucking Daiji like fighting for his fucking life.
Yeah. Everyone's winning but Daiji. And then
like, hey, good job, guys, way to go. And Daiji's like, oh my God.
And like they even have this moment, right, where Daiji is helping people get into this Aratada or Ararat. Oh
my God!
It's this Google town
over the head.
So they're stamping people with the Geef Jr. stamps to make the jobbers, and that's the whole thing. They're giving, Geef more soldiers, stuff like that to use. And so he gets his ass beat. Like a new demon shows up, and I forget what it's Hell Geef something. Hell Geef Demos, something like that.
Hell Giftarian.
Hell Giftarian. And it's a problem. This thing is a problem.
So it's a RE4 regenerator with an attitude.
Yeah. Like,
you can't hurt it, and it's talking shit to you the whole time.
If anyone has ever watched D. Gray Man, it's the level 4 demon. That's what this thing fucking is.
Oh, wow. I didn't even... Whoa.
It's a level 4 demon. And so this thing comes and fucks Daiji up. And he is literally limping back to headquarters, and a bunch of people come up and go, hey, can we get into the cool place, man? Can we get into the club, Mr. Bouncer?
Like, sure.
He's literally charred and bleeding. And they're like, hey, man, can we get into the cool club? And he's like...
It's exactly what he deserves, though. Fuck Daiji for the next 10 episodes. Daiji is such a fucking annoying character forever.
I think someone can go back to the episode and see. I think I said I was coming around to Daiji a little bit, like he had a little bit going on. He pissed me off so much in these 10 episodes. He spends 10 episodes crying and throwing a goddamn tantrum.
There's a line that Iki says that, anyway, we'll get there. So 37, basically nothing happens. Akaishi reveals his plan. Mm-hmm. Geef resurrected him. Akemi is what we call a Geef Demos. I guess that's what they're calling her classification. Yes. George proposes they use Barrett Rex to capture her so that they can use her cells to power the ultimate Gifford Rex device that George is working on with Papa.
And he boosts the hell out of the Barrett Rex. Like, it is now, I think, in terms of the fight that they use to show how much stronger it is, it's stronger than the Thunder Gale all of a sudden.
It seems to be like because the plot armor needed to happen. But honestly, you still don't get that vibe because Barrett Rex is just a cool looking form. It's just ice. Anyway,
honestly, I wouldn't have been mad if that was like the Thunder Gale. Honestly, that thing is a sick form.
Yeah. They almost Aizen level Akaishi in this, where he has already foreseen through all of their subterfuge plans and has a counter to their counter. So this becomes a bunch of, chess moves and obvious ploys. So anyway,
Akaishi, he's watching it all on Twitch live streaming apparently.
Akaishi sets them up to get to the point where Akemi appears to have been killed by Iki and Vice.
Yes, and they do this by freezing her in place, and then I think Akaishi shows up, right? Or is that what? Someone shows up. I'm sorry, the new level 4 demon. I'm just gonna call him a level 4 because I don't remember the name.
Was it him that killed her?
No. He shows up and distracts them.
That's right.
And then, or Daiji does, I don't remember which. But either way, and then Gifu just kind of like shows up, blasts the shit out of her, and then Daiji essentially turns around and goes, "Why did you kill her?"
Yeah, so Daiji comes in
punching the shit out of
Iki. Fucking imbecile and doesn't talk to anybody.
Yeah,
it's just like, I'm gonna be mad.
Just throws tantrums.
So this is Daiji for the next 5 episodes. Consecutive. It's just a piece of shit who won't listen to anything.
He literally just assumes everything and assumes he's also right. And then as he shows up, you just all right. I was getting to it. I'm sorry. I was gonna say he's punching Iki, and then he goes to punch him again, and then all of a sudden Hiromi catches his fist, and they have this like, oh, my boyfriend's back.
Because I saw it and I was like, I don't care.
I was about it until, and I was gonna get to this. Good Lord, when I said ask me about Hiromi. I was about it until they said, you never lost your memories, did you? And he goes, yeah.
Bro.
And that's when I was like, that is the second person in this fucking show that has amnesia and then does not have amnesia. Like, why is this a thing?
It's a thing. It's a thing now. And here we have Iki, who's legitimately having short-term memory loss. Like, this man can't remember dinner. You know what I mean? Like,
the dude can't remember 40 episodes ago.
And how would, if I were Iki, I'd be like, you fucking serious? You're fucking serious? You piece of shit. Like,
that was everything. Like, Hiromi coming back was immediately ruined by that line. And it was like the second sentence in the episode. It was like episode 38, I think, at that point, right at the beginning.
38, yeah.
He says, nope, I never lost my memories.
Yep, I wrote dick move in my notes.
Like, what the fuck?
So, yes. So, essentially, that's pointless because it just gets worse for Hiromi. And worse and worse. So, anyway, because Akemi's dead, they don't have a plan to power the Gifford driver key stamp. So, they come up with a backup plan. And the backup plan is my man Genta. Genta's like, you know what? I'm mostly Gifu. Why haven't we thought of this before we started this whole stupid elaborate plan? So the idea is to have this surgery where they're going to extract the Gif cells from Papa.
And put them into this new stamp that George has been working on. Essentially, it's going to utilize the Gif cells to stop him. And George. George.
My poor guy, George. You know, I love George as much as I love Genta. Those are my two guys in this. But they did this weird coming to terms subplot with George where he interacts more with the idea of his father than his actual father.
And they kind of have this thing where they're trying to work together, and then like at the last minute, Masumi, is that his first name? Karazaki, Daddy Karazaki is he kind of just proves that he's a forever dick. And he literally can't shake the dickitude out of himself.
It is revelation after revelation.
It is revelation of how much of an asshole this dude is for the next 10 episodes. So they go to do surgery on Junpei, and Masumi starts it himself. Genta.
He's Genta, damn it.
Genta, my bad. Well, I mean, we'll get to that in a second too.
Yeah, but we'll get to that.
So they start this surgery, and they are all like maxed up. And of course, he still has his stupid helmet on with his stupid hood. And I was like, I don't think that's sterilized. And then 2 seconds later, he starts coughing and like falls over and drops the rock that George gave him. That's their like bonding thing right now. Like George gave to him when he was younger. Cute. Whatever. That's fine. He then is on the ground, bloody because he coughed the stuff up. In his surgical gloves, George walks in, full gown, ready to rock, picks up this rock, gives it to him. He picks it up off the floor, by the way, and gives it to his dad, picks his dad up, and neither of them change their gloves.
There's no time. Genta's, they're trying to get them Gifu.
I am telling you, this surgery would not have gone as badly if they just switched their goddamn gloves.
You're right. The infection level is ridiculous anymore. They should have thought about that.
Like,
however,
Genta is dying on the table not because they're extracting what's holding his heart in place. It's because he's got MRSA.
Immediately, it's like the great. It's not even everything. Everything is perfectly clean.
Yeah.
It's just, you know how sometimes when they walk through, you got that sand on your shoes. So there's like sand in the wound, and they're constantly swiping at it.
Yeah.
And you can't get the sand out when it's in there.
It just, that bugged me to a level that like distracted me for the rest of the scene. I was like, please, for the love of God, just change your gloves. That's all I'm asking you to do.
Meanwhile, while this surgery is going on, the siblings are all fighting against the Helgiftarian, Akemi, Akaishi, all of them. Akaishi does this exposition dump, pre-log dump, whatever we're gonna call it. He basically explains the first part of what Gifu is. And I don't know if you caught this, but basically Gif is an alien and came to Earth during a time where Akaishi was some kind of ruler, some kind of king or whatever. And I don't know through how he intimidated him, but he intimidated him to the point where he believed his bullshit to subjugate himself and trade
the way he implies it, the way he implies it to me, it's very like Babylonian or Sumerian, like
something
old
like that.
time, old time.
I was thinking Ainu people, you know what I mean? Like talking about ancient time.
Like ancient whatever. And he probably just blasted someone, and he was like, "Yo, I mean, it's either you submit or I start blasting." You know what I'm saying?
Right. And if he had that power, then why would he need to make a contract? You know what I mean? Like, what is the purpose of a contract to an alien?
I think it's to, because clearly these aliens are what the demons are. I think it's to anchor him to this dimension, essentially.
Now we're talking like Estelle shit and Elden Ring Cosmos shit.
Yep. I mean, they do make a reference to even, the gods against the cosmos kind of thing.
Yeah, so the idea is that humanity transgresses itself. So essentially, and this is where I was getting to, is that Geef is a Reaper.
Yeah.
He's a Mass Effect Reaper in goals and plot.
Yep.
He is the ultimate, I don't know, reset button when people get out of line. And apparently, we're such a threat to the cosmos with our plastic and, our human germs that
we stand DX belts.
We stand a chance against a fucking supernova. You know what I mean? One gamma wave, and we're cool. We're still rocking.
Yep.
Fuck out of here.
The second you hear a final remix, it's game over. Okay.
Yeah,
Good
like
Lord.
I don't understand that reasoning. It's really bizarre. But okay,
Yeah.
Let's assume that humans are this.
Oh, he dipped out. I don't know where he went. His thing may have crashed. Yeah, like he does this thing where. Oh, there you are. You're back. Hello.
What happened?
Back from the Shadow Realm. Hello.
But Kuro was, lonely, so I just.
Yeah. No, it's fine. He just wanted to stop in and say hi.
Yeah. Oh, yo, by the way, complete side note. I dusted off the Yu-Gi-Oh! Itch. Oh my god, I need a Cyber Dragon deck. Anyway, legit. I will go on a sidetrack later, but that was one of the.
He's so excited it killed his connection again. The cyber dragons are infesting his internet connection. Goodness gracious. So yeah, this whole nonsense with Akaishi is going down while they're doing the surgery, and they're fighting this literal army of demons. And oh, you're back. Okay. So yeah, they're fighting this literal army of demons that they've been collecting with the Geefs and the Geef Juniors and all this kind of stuff. And Iki says, "Y'all got this, right? Y'all got this, right?" And pieces the fuck out to stop George and Masumi. And in doing so, apparently they got just enough Gifu cells, because of course they did, to make this new Vice Stamp. And this thing takes the fuck off to try and join Gifu again. And for some reason, for it to finalize its complete, whatever with the Geef cells, they have to separate it. And this Vice Stamp looks like a T-Rex head. It's kind of a cool looking Vice Stamp. I kind of dig it. But this thing basically goes like Gitac Zector and just starts firing through walls and just like goes off. So they have to chase it down. They grab it. Of course, it doesn't get to Gifu because they need their final form.
Yep.
And Iki and Vice separate this thing and they get their new final form. And how do you feel about this form? You like it?
I like it. I like it a lot. I like it more and more because of the fluidity to them. They're yes, they stand alone, but because they're a duo, and the way that the powers work, this is true magnet states.
Yes. I was going to get to that in a minute. Exactly. So I have on the screen here the stamp itself. You can see it separates into two. It makes a T-Rex head. And it does the really cool, like, T-Rex robot-y thing. What I like most about this, specifically in the Henshin, is they turn into their base Rex form, and then this kind of Gifford armor goes over top of their base forms. I thought that was a really cool touch. And a really cool, and a really cool little way to, you know, not to have the base forms like we've been seeing in Reiwa series, but also not the base forms. You know what I mean?
I mean, I was just relieved that it wasn't just the base form.
I was expecting kind of this coloring, but just the base form, honestly. So I am excited that we finally get something a little more unique, a little more interesting to look at. And like I said, it's really cool that they kind of do like a blade thing where they run through the like armor to equip it, and then they put the helmets on. I thought that was a really cool touch. And yes, if we're going with the theory of like extinction events, I guess this is the pole shifting. That's what this one is.
I like it. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I like that. I guess this is kind of like the pole shifting, global warming, all that kind of stuff.
The polarity shift of
So
I like
if that's the theory, that seems
they did Ice Age. They did
global warming, essentially.
the magma form. I guess Thundergale is
storms in general, natural disasters.
It's Placidusics. Okay, and then now we have
the pole shifting. I dig it.
Now, of the two, I think that, you know, the fact that they still have their own individual variation of the power is dope. That, like, they don't depend on each other. They can operate individually. That's what I'm getting at. Like, I like that because at some point they get separated pretty drastically, and they still have a connection through the belt, through the That's dope.
Which I missed for a second. Did he get Vice a second belt? I know George gave him a belt, but I couldn't tell if that was a second one or just his belt.
No, he gave him a second belt.
Okay.
So there's two Revice drivers now.
Okay. Peacemaker is saying that the way they put on their helmets are the same as X and Rider Man. So that's a cool little tidbit.
They do the thing. Yeah. I was going to say, I see that they do something. I wasn't sure how big it is, but it's straight up
like nice. But yeah, I really like this form. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I know I poo-pooed on a lot of these forms, especially the colors and stuff. Like they are very obnoxious, but I think it really works for this form.
The fact that it's blue dominant and pink accent, makes it easier on the eye.
Yes,
that's all.
And like I said, I really like the armor that kind of equips over top. You have all these clear pieces, like the eyes. You know, you can basically see the Revy helmet underneath the Gifford Rex helmet, which is really cool. That's a cool little touch. I like that. Plus, you know, we got collars, we got shoulders. I'm down for it. So
stealing that idea straight up for the final form I'm coming up with.
So
straight up.
And yeah, it was a cool little intro. They do all kinds of. It seems like this is one of those things where like, oh yeah, we're just gonna make nonsense for magnets to make them kind of do whatever we want them to. So yeah, that's kind of what we got going on.
So another thing they do that I hope they don't do again is this Kagebushin attack.
Yes. God, that was awful.
Somehow they're able to stamp the ground in front of them and create a duplicate of themselves and do that perpetually.
Yeah.
Each clone can do that again and again. It's
literally Gakiriba, you know, the grasshopper form for O's.
Yeah.
And it looks just as bad.
I didn't understand what the situation was for that. Why they're even able to do that.
Especially since like 3 episodes later, they just do like a spirit bomb that sucks everyone in and they just fire them off like they're nothing.
And they also do their final remix is a soccer ball kick, which fits into Iki's character, but something that we fucking forgot about like 20 episodes ago.
Matter.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, cool, thanks for that, but like, why? You can turn him into a fuck you cannon, but no, let's make him a soccer ball.
Yeah, okay. The powers themselves leave a lot to be desired. I'm going to be honest with you.
They look pretty.
They look pretty. There's cool effects. There's cool like magnet, you know, wave kind of things coming off them, things like that. You know, Vice does a really cool like giant swing, which is kind of dope, honestly. But
I didn't see it.
It was in the first fight that they have. While Iki's like off doing his thing, Vice does like a big giant swing, and it's like when he throws them into the Geef Juniors and they explode.
So yeah, I mean,
it's got stuff.
To say that everything looked pretty. This is where they put the budget in terms of the effort. Everything looks great. This form looks great. The effects are dope. Even Vale's little moments in there, you know what I mean? Like everything worked, but then we have to focus back on the plot, where Genta was forcing himself to be more like Junpei.
Yes, because he never forgot his goddamn memories.
He never forgot either, because let it go for Genta. All right, I'll let it go for Genta, because I still really like Genta. We still have, in my opinion, the greatest moment in most of what Reiwa is going to be. So the weekend is amassing more anti-Geef people around the country, and it's becoming now like straight up 50-50. Like half of the population is for and against Geef.
Because the weekend was like, hey, these guys kind of suck. Come hang out with us. We're the cool kids. What's up? Quite literally.
Iki lost all short-term memory. He can't remember fucking dinner. But he can remember Mio-chan from 3rd grade, because everybody remembers Mio-chan.
Yep. And this comes about because they mentioned the hot tub trip towards the beginning of the show. And he can't remember that. And they look at the picture. He's not in the picture.
They went. So of 39, not a whole lot happens. The only significant thing is because they push the Hikaru plot more and more, they actually have the balls and they kill someone from the weekend.
Yep.
A character that wasn't in many of the episodes up until this one, when they fucking offer.
Yeah. So the mom, who's kind of just standing there most of the time, is the Akaishi and the Geef start attacking these weekend, bases, essentially, where people are staying. And for some reason, Daiji tries to make this proclamation that they're wrong, and everyone starts booing him, and then Daishi just like tantrums even harder, which is such a weird. It was such a weird scene.
I hate everything they're doing with him, man.
They at the very beginning of the episode, Tamaki and Aguilera, I forget her actual name.
Yeah, because he's still in this too.
Tamaki's running around with a headband. I don't know, being whatever. They attack, and one of these level 4 demons just murks the mom. Just murks her. And Haruka, whatever his nonsense name is, over demons, is dragged away while they just sit there and watch her be dead on the ground. So ballsy to kill a character, not so ballsy to do one we don't care about in any way, shape, or form. But if this was Daiji or Sakura, completely different. If this was Mama-san, completely different story.
Yo, Mama-san is not going out like that. Fuck out of here. Now, Mama Weekend, I kind of like it.
Mama Weekend ain't earned that respect.
She straight up got like berserker slashed and like dropped. Like she didn't even like.
It was a literal berserker slash.
I was like, ooh, damn, I get it. All right, yeah.
I also didn't realize she actually died, and everyone was just crying. I was waiting for her to just be in a hospital or something, because that's how Kamen Rider rolls. And then I rewound it, and I was like, oh no, she's dead. Okay.
Yeah, no, cool. You don't drop like that to be unconscious. That's not a Hiromi. Ouchie, that is a straight up it. So that was the ballsiest thing in the span of episodes. I didn't really write anything for the rest of that.
Well, I mean, the other thing that happens that episode, it might be the next episode too, but then we have Akaishi assume his Geef form, his demon form. They don't really name it.
I wrote, like, I really like it. I just wish it wasn't him. Like,
I really like it. These episodes of Revice have this really bad problem of upping the stakes for anything, whether it's power levels, enemies, whatever, and then immediately bringing the characters up to that level with no earning whatsoever.
Right.
That's my big issue with these ones. So we introduce the level 4 demon. He gets Geef Rex immediately, and those things aren't a problem anymore. They're a problem for everyone else who happens to be the main characters of these fucking seasons, but they're not a problem for anyone else.
It literally goes to the point where they say, we're the only ones who can fight Geef. So if that's the case, nobody else moves.
They literally acknowledge their main character power. And then, so, Akaishi shows up, does his actual, like, demon form, and is like, hey, I'm the resurrected dude badass of Geef, and I'm Geef's champion, essentially. And he does... You know what this reminded me of? When Tak Sakaguchi gets introduced in Kamen Rider Kabuto as that purple bug dude who can stop time. This This intro reminds me of that a lot, where he just like yes and no, but he's giving this soliloquy essentially where he's saying like strike is, be as aggressive as fire, be as quick as wind, and all this nonsense, and he's showing off how badass he is. Fucking up over demons, doing his thing, and just as he's about to murder over demons, Papa Weekend shows up. Not Karazaki, Papa Weekend, just the other dude who just kind of stands there being a dick. Pulls him out of the way after he had some yelling match with Hiruka, whatever the hell his name is, and is stabbed and killed. So they kill both parents.
You skipped a part there where in the beginning of that episode, it had ended where Daiji just got his ass kicked again, and he fucking pulled a piece on his brother and sister.
Yes, I forgot about that. Oh my goodness,
bro! Let me tell you the level of unforgivably pissed off I was that one, they wrote that, one, they shot that, two, they literally shot that in the middle of all the bullshit that's been going on, and three, if whatever the fuck number I was on, the fact that he even did that, like, I'm like, you motherfucker.
Sakura had the perfect reaction though. She literally slaps his hand away and slaps the shit out of him.
I wrote here, I'm like, he is lucky all he got was a slap, because I would have broken his fucking hands. Like, are you kidding me? Like,
because he's throwing a tantrum.
It's so
10 episodes,
extreme.
Guys. And this isn't even like extreme. His tantrum just gets worse. He's been throwing a tantrum for like 30 episodes now.
And going nowhere with it, because his ideal is like, I'm right. Why don't people understand that I'm right? Because you're fucking not, dude.
Yeah.
Obviously, if more than one person says you're wrong, you should probably think about that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or just pull a piece on your brother and sister. One of those two.
Or just fucking pull a piece on them because you're a fucking bitch. Like, oh my god, the audacity. I'm like, oh no. Now you're getting rider kicked twice, you fucking dick. Like. Anyway, so I got hung up on that for like the rest of the episode. I just wrote that Akaishi fuses. Yep. That Papa Weekend gets ganked.
Yep.
For taking the L for the Cream Puff Rider. Fuck that guy.
Puff Rider.
I fucking hate it. I hated him. I love it. I was so annoyed with Daiji the entire episode that I just need to get through this, because unless Daiji's gonna die, I can't with him anymore. Yeah. And now that I know, I still can't. Like, that moment is infamous with me.
I genuinely don't like Daiji as a character. Like, I was kind of about evil, Holy Live is fine. I was kind of here for it. I got tired of looking at it, honestly. I'm tired of that form. And then Daiji just kind of ruined any good whatever I had for like his suits and his rider stuff. He has waned on me very quickly, to the point where I'm like, every time he's on screen, I just heavy sigh very loudly.
It's so bad. I don't know why it had to go that way. They did not have to do this. You know what I mean? Like,
to me, this feels like anything. This really feels like the Kagero fight. They blew their load a little too quickly, so they're trying to like pull it out a little bit. So they're like, oh, let's just backstep a little bit and have them go even harder now. That's how we do it.
Which is why. Anyway, so Akaishi gives Vale the go-ahead to fucking kill the Igarashis, because another subplot that has been going on is that Akaishi is developing feelings, or so it seems, for Daiji because of all the bullshit that he's been manipulating him into.
Because Papa Weekend still loved Hiruka, or whatever the hell his name is, I don't know, because fuck you. I don't know what the reason is, but apparently they had some connection. So Akaishi's like, oh, I have this connection with Daishi, and yeah, that's a thing. And Daiji is literally just a spoiled brat and is like, hey, also, I mean, he's justified in this response where he goes, hey, I'm not your kid. That's weird. Stop talking to me.
Yeah, I mean, there's some moments in there where you could tell if this was written better, it would have been, but they chose not to. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's the character that Daiji should have become. Completely like, fuck you, man. I'm just here because I'm trying to end the situation. Not, well, I'm so right. Why don't people get it?
Yeah.
Fuck you. Yeah, like, God, yes. Oh my God.
The underlying thing was, yes, that he was trying to say, like, this is how we solve the problem, guys. We're trying to solve, and instead he sounds like a whiny little bitch. Right. And Daishi's just the worst. Oh my god, I can't get over it.
Literally, that sentence you just said is in my notes every episode. Daichi is the worst.
Just the
Daichi is worst. Fucking Daichi.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
All right, let's bullet point here. Tamaki still gets tension blocked. Iki comes clean about losing his memory. Gift finally emerges. Finally, and shows his dick for like a minute, and we finally get Geef, and all he is what I was afraid he would be. Yeah. It's a bunch of CG hand waving.
Yeah, which I kind of expected as like an alien wizard essentially. So there's some other things that happen in between there too. The demon troopers show up.
Oh yeah, the mass production.
The Ryo troopers for this season show up. They are
literally
Ryo troopers that either have the demon's head or they have the over demon's head, and they wear the Yango outfit for the rest of their suit that's repainted.
It's great.
It's great. It's something because they don't actually do anything, and that's how Hiromi is now contributing to the fight because he can't henshin anymore. They made sure to remember you that.
Oh really?
Yeah,
can't he?
He can't henshin anymore. They drove that point home that if he henshins again, he is gonna die.
He's supposed to die.
That is a literal sentence that came out of someone's mouth, and yet in like 2 episodes.
Oh, I don't remember anything. So
yeah, exactly. This is kind of my issue that's developing with this show. Is like, again, kind of like my issue with X-Aid. They introduce something, and then they immediately backpedal on it.
But at least X-Aid made the effort to tie it back in somehow. They're abandoning it. They're giving us all the good stuff that they could have done and feeding us Daiji.
I feel like this show is having the opposite of what Kamen Rider the issue Kamen Rider normally has with its pacing. Normally, it's solid beginning, weak middle, solid end.
Fair enough. Sure.
This show is kind of having like meh beginning, solid middle, meh end.
Solid middle, solid beginning in terms of at least they didn't backpedal on anything.
I mean, yeah, like Iki, again, he's still just existing in this world. Like he really doesn't do anything other than like react to everyone else having problems.
They're the busybodies. They're the ultimate busybodies. So that's like their slogan. So it's I get it. It's just they're falling apart with their narrative because they chose to focus on the wrong thing.
It's literally the B squad. They're like, oh, we gotta get a couple more episodes out of this. Let's focus on these guys. So Peacemaker saying they needed another villain, and Daiji is the one no one will care if the heel turn. Fair, but like they could have made Akaishi more of a problem.
No, you take the Weekend and you make them what Daiji was. You take that thing and make the entity
reestablish their idea
because a person can be defeated again and again and again. Not an ideal. So
interesting.
No, sorry.
And yeah, they did. He called them the Zect Trooper suits. Yes, that is much better than the Yango suits. They're definitely Zect Trooper suits.
You're right.
And like after that, like just some talking happens. That's really all that happens.
I mean, I'm gonna skip through these here. B Team gets their ass handed to them. Papa Weekend ganked. George reveals his squad. Tamaki blocked. Vale is awake. Vale is weakening.
Yeah, so we find out that Vale's body is apparently disintegrating, which I feel like they mentioned briefly before, and that's just how he's able to stay materialized. But like apparently for the last 25 years, he's been straight up dying. Yeah. And these stamps are basically keeping him alive. And so, you know, when Tamaki tries to, or I'm sorry, not Tamaki.
I thought of a theory that he's probably dying because Genta is becoming more of the personality and not Junpei.
Yes.
Because Genta's letting go of what Junpei was.
Junpei is dying. Genta is thriving, you know, that kind of thing. And
that's what I thought.
The demon that, you know, Vale was born of Junpei, and now that Junpei is, big air quotes, dying, you know, physically he's having problems, but like the personality of Junpei, like you're saying, is dying. That Genta is thriving is kind of the issue. And it sort of builds to a cool little thing. So like obviously Vale's still a little bit of an issue that they have.
Not just a little, just a tiny issue.
Just a tiny issue. So he keeps getting like random powers. They introduce a new Vice stamp like 3 times and he just snags it and like stamps himself and gets a new power.
every time.
Every time. They're like, oh,
I
yeah, no, I
already
got this
have the
cool
power.
one. And like Tamaki's like, oh, I got this cool new power. And he just swipes it and stamps himself. And like,
Yeah.
okay.
Genta goes to Masumi and he's like, I need something.
Yep.
And that sentence, I was like, oh yeah, here we go.
Here we go.
Fuck yeah. So he commissions a new driver.
Yep.
And that's all we get for this episode.
Yep.
Just that little. So Akaishi. I wanted to grab a screen of it because it looked really good. But Akaishi and Vale slaughter the Demon Core. Like they.
Oh yeah, they mess them up.
Dark Souls level, like a catastrophe. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. They have a really cool little scene where they both like roll up and the whole thing is like Iki and Vice versus, Vale and Akaishi. And they both roll up and just like destroy this entire unit. Like there was no contest.
The loss of life was like shocking. I'm like, we're not going to address this slaughter that just happened.
No, Hiromi's here. It's okay. Don't ignore that. Hiromi's back. That's pretty much the mentality they went with.
I was impressed at the loss of life, but they just like... So they show up, they have a fight scene, and there's another moment in this episode that kind of like breaks the Kamen Rider meta. And I don't know if it's happened before, because if it has, I was thinking maybe something like Super Sentai, where the villain just ducks out of the way of the finisher. Like
straight up.
He straight up hits the deck like a bitch. Mm-hmm. But it saves his ass.
Because he doesn't want to die. That's the only reason. So they hit him and he starts to turn to stone. His hand gets all like stony because he's dying. And so he like immediately starts to break down mentally and just ducks. And they're just like, what the fuck?
They're about to rider punch him.
Yeah.
Vice and Iki are about to like end him legitimately.
Yeah. And he just cries. He goes to the fetal position.
It was amazing. I was like, wait, really?
Yep.
That's what it takes.
Yep. And then they hard cut to him back in the office and essentially just throwing a tantrum and like knocking all the civilization statues over and things like that.
I was trying to see if that was like a clue as to what civilizations he lived through, but I didn't recognize any of those statues. And I'm not an archaeologist, but I'm like, I don't see anything like Egyptian or anything. So I'm assuming
I didn't really. They all just kind of seemed like old statues, sort of thing. So I don't know.
Like somebody went to Ross and was like, I like that. That looks old.
That's pretty much what happened. They went to like World Market and were like, oh yeah, let's get this and this and this. This looks great. Yeah, let's do this one.
So
and Daichi watches this breakdown like a creeper.
Yeah.
He's just kind of lurking behind a corner staring at him. He's like, what the fuck is happening?
Daichi assumes this whole dark persona from here on out. Like he just won't talk much. He straight up just like becomes all about action. It's just so weird because it's not him. It's not.
Peacemaker brings up a really good point about the statues. Actually, they're probably South American stuff because that's where they found the stamp.
Ah, good point.
Yeah. So maybe he's like an Aztec dude kind of thing. But yeah, so
But then wouldn't Akaishi be speaking Spanish?
I mean, I don't know.
That would be great.
The Deadmen's also had a bunch of mariachi things going on, and none of them were even remotely Spanish. So
I'm just saying, that would be great if fucking Akaishi was just like, "Órale,
órale,
All right. Anyway,
that would have been a great moment when he like ducks down, be like, ah. Oh my god.
Masumi. Okay, so let me preface this. 42 does two things for me. Episode 42 is both the end of Revice for me and gives me the ending that I wasn't expecting, but I think I like as much as I would have anyway. Does that make sense?
Sure, but elaborate.
Okay, so even though, well, when I get to the ending, I'll elaborate more, but I had an ending in my head that I thought it was going to go, and it didn't go that way, but I still like it as much as I
for the Vale Genta conflict, you're saying? Correct.
42, right, for the end of Revice. Yeah. Because everything after 42 is Revice GT.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're in the Majin Buu arc. Gotcha.
That's where we're at, because I feel like Revice began 25 years ago, and now that we had episode 42, Revice is over.
Yep. So Vale was Dragon Ball, and then we've been in Dragon Ball Z until now.
Yes.
Okay.
And now we're in GT. So
Yeah, okay.
welcome to the shithole. So let's talk about 42.
Grand door.
This is my favorite episode, probably in most of Reiwa.
Okay.
But it's not just because it's standalone. As a standalone, it's a decent episode, but because of everything that we know and everything that has built up to this point.
Okay.
This left such an impact. I texted you right away. I was like, fucking 42. Oh my God. Like, everything about this episode tied everything I wanted and then gave me something I didn't.
Yeah.
So we begin the episode with the thread where Iki is talking. I don't know why this became a thing now, but Masumi shows up with a driver
mm-hmm.
and the Tricera stamp.
Mm-hmm.
Vale attacks,
they're fighting Vale at this point, and then Masumi goes to Henshin, and then Vale steals the Vice stamp, and it's a Triceratops Vice stamp.
Yeah, it feels like it's contrived, but it's for a reason. So he uses a Vice stamp, he powers up, he fucks off, and it backfires because something is different.
Yep.
Masumi was like, and it puts an emphasis on where Masumi was with his life, because he was a continuous dick. How did you put it? He was an asshole throughout his whole life.
He can't shake the dickitude.
The dickitude, thank you.
Yes.
He can't shake that. And when now that he's like, I can do one thing maybe,
mm-hmm.
and it works so well, like it couldn't have worked better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he manipulates Vale into agreeing to something. He's like, look, aren't you tired of all this? You know what I mean? Don't you want to just end this?
Yeah. Let's end your vengeance, and I'll give you one last chance to fight Genta as a Kamen Rider.
To fight Junpei.
I'm sorry. Junpei as a Kamen Rider.
Right. So he hands him another rolling stamp, which is all red, and it's looking. But it's just the all red rolling stamp so that he can take on
the Crimson Veil Vine stamp.
Yes. Vale can't sustain any more than Attacker 2 Papa Rig. Anyway, Kaishi dying finally crumbles to ashes slowly.
Yes. So in this fight, they do kill Kaishi, and he, does his thing. He crumbles. But right before this, Genta also went to George and brought him the Overdemons driver and said, I need you to make this work. So that's a stipulation to this episode as well.
George. Yes.
Yeah.
George takes that driver and he's like, okay. And we get another Demons driver. I'm not gonna defend it more. It's
literally the Overdemons driver with two pieces slapped on top of it.
And a repaint. And it is what it is. We're not gonna get another driver at this point.
I'm sorry, the Veil driver, not the Demons driver. The Veil driver, which is just a repaint of the Demons driver.
Yeah. It's another, so just another variation of a variation.
Mm-hmm.
And boom, you get the Death Stream driver.
Yeah.
And in terms of drivers, whatever. In terms of designs.
So let's before you get into this, let's set this scene.
I'm sorry, I'm going too far.
You're going too far ahead. Let's set this scene a little bit. So
they go back to home. Genta, or I'm sorry, the siblings are waiting for George to bring them that driver. And Yukimi has a moment with them, and I get into the feels. That's what I live for. So Yukimi drops a gem on her kids because they're worried. They're like, yo, if he dies, we can't just watch him fight. You know what I mean? We got to help him. They're like, your father's strong enough. He's transformed 3 times already, once for each of you. And when she said that, I was like, oh, you bitch. No, you can't do that to me. Because it was a death flag. And I'm like, no, don't do that. You can't do that. Not now. And so legitimately, I was already worried.
Yeah.
But it fit because she's like, believe in him, and that'll be it. And they go and they have more feels, bro. Like, the next 10 minutes of the episode is straight up feels because I need a second.
It's Genta essentially spending time with his entire family and kind of going down a little bit of a memory lane. Like, he goes to a park where him and Sakura were playing a little game. He goes like under a tree or something where he has a moment with Iki. And then I think the best part of this whole episode is him and Yukimi just having dinner alone.
when they're eating the rice, like, oh man, I'm fucking leaking. Why am I leaking?
Yeah.
Tokusatsu.
She made curry rice for him. And it's like just a nice little, like, they don't really do much. They kind of just smile at each other and then just enjoy the meal together.
That's the whole thing, is like, it tied it all back. You know what I mean? Like, she's there. They know this could be the end. They know this is like, this could be goodbye.
Yeah.
And
how
do they enjoy it? As purely as they always would.
Yeah.
Like,
what I loved about that moment was it was quite literally the exact same shot as how we ended Vale. Literally the exact same shot where he goes, "Oh, what's my name?" and she calls him Genta. And like that moment when I realized that, I was like, "Oh God!"
Yep. I was like, "Nope, I can't. I don't know how I'm gonna do this episode. Holy shit!" So, and that's just the appetizer, guys. Like,
and that's just to set the stage for this square off, right? So they go to the Toku Quarry. You all know where that place is. They go to the Toku Quarry.
The infamous quarry.
The infamous quarry they shoot every series from, at least an episode. And it is Vale and Genta squaring off. Sakura and Iki are watching, and then Daiji kind of rolls up next to them and just watches as well. And then they do one of the worst things they probably could have done, where a Kaishi shows up, and then so does who the hell else shows up? Gifu shows up too, kind of, sort of. But Akaishi essentially shows up, and they just all start fighting instead of just watching this fight.
They do make it a family affair. It does become kind of a brawl for all, but at the same time, I think it was so that it wouldn't have there wouldn't be dead moments, because they'd spliced in a bunch of the family reflecting on it.
I get that, but like, to me, this fight was one of those things where, like, I didn't even want music. I just wanted the sound of the fight and them struggling against each other. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
For the people who liked Saber's Ren and Disaster fight, like the vibe that got, this is equal footing. But for me, I think, like I'll forgive the way they did it, because it gave me what I wanted from them. You know what I mean? Like, whatever else was going on.
I feel like this was a redo of that moment, right? Like they built it up a little better. They just did everything a little better with it. A lot better. Yeah, because that moment kind of came out of nowhere. But yeah, like, this is, I feel like, we took what we learned in Mega Man and made Mega Man X kind of thing. So it's better in every way, in my opinion, anyway. So like, it was that kind of thing. We took the blueprint, we improved on it. Cool. We made the actual moment, and it's a very strong moment.
Yep. Then they henshin.
Yeah.
Oh man, Crimson Veil. It's just Jack Vice. It's just Jack Vice, but everything is, I don't know. It's decent with red.
No, it definitely is a lot more intimidating with red as opposed to the blue.
Yeah, I mean, but there's really not much more to it.
It's literally just Jack Vice. They painted it. We're never going to see Jack Vice again, because they used whatever other pieces for Thundergale. So we're never going to see Jack Vice again. It's gone the way of Dragonic Knight. We're going to have to accept that. So, rest in peace, Dragonic Knight. And then Destream Henshins. And how do you feel about this form?
When we first saw it, I love the helmet. I love this helmet design. It's not too much in terms of, like, the helmet. I don't like that they reused the Sentry undersuit. I think they could have just at least recolored it. I think that the protruding chest piece is the cusp of formula, but a step, like, just one notch under. Those are the only negatives, but I like the leg designs. I like the spider. I like the weapons, even the Ryuki Dragon Komodo.
Another Ryuki.
I like how it integrates and how it doesn't seem like it's too contrived, because the elements are on the suit, not like fucking overdemons. You know what I mean? Like it at least meshes well.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. The helmet was definitely the shining piece in this suit by far, and I was indifferent to it until I saw it in the episode. I agree. I think this helmet is fucking radical. And it is by far the best. The little, like, spider arms coming off the back aren't awful. I don't know if I like them, but they're not the worst. And can you guess what my favorite weapon that he used was?
No, do tell.
It was the mammoth fists, the big dumb mammoth.
You
fists.
Don't say.
No, who would have thought? Who would have thunk?
So they do a bunch of clashes, and he uses the Kong fist like once or twice, and it's like they're It's dope.
It's
The fight
cool just
itself,
because it's just Vice's fucking arms, and he just punches the piss out of Vale. And it's honestly, there's not a lot to this fight. Like this is where I mean, like, it kind of cut. Like, I hated that everyone else was fighting because it took away from this fight.
Yeah. But
yeah,
in the middle of their fight,
Sakura and Daiji fight. That's what I was thinking of when I was talking about it.
Akaishi gets dusted again.
Yeah.
And that kind of ends like all the distractions, because what we have is them starting to fight, Vale and Genta starting to fight in earnest.
Mm-hmm.
And they fucking start playing the ending theme song for the Legacy movie, like the Legacy special.
Yep.
During the middle of, oh my God, I was like, no, you can't do this again. And I'm over here like, if Genta dies, I'm not going to be okay. I'm not.
We should mention as well that there is no intro to this one. There is no ending to this one.
Yeah.
The credits for these things roll through the episode. It is a solid 30-minute or 22-minute episode of like
because there's like, we got no time.
Intro.
Let's just do this.
Like that. Yeah. Like, this is the main event. This is why everyone's here. Let's handle this.
This is why I watched Revice, to get to this fucking episode.
Yeah.
And that fight, when the music cues up, they're henchened and they're fighting in front of the field. And the quarry, and you see like the intensity, and it starts to slow down, and then they cut to being in the fucking bathhouse in the middle of the fire. Genta human fighting Vale. Like, I'm like, oh please, don't stop. More of that. That's fucking incredible. Like, everything about that moment with the music and the build up, and when Genta starts to win, like you see he starts to overcome Vale, and I need a second. That moment when he beats him, because they do the final clash, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
The drivers, I think it's a punch, right? They both punch each other, right?
No, they rider kick. They do the Kabuto kick.
Yeah, they Kabuto kick each other in the chest.
It's fucking cool.
And you see the damage go through Genta's back. You know what I mean? Like, he gets kicked in the chest, and the back of the armor cracks. I'm like, oh my God. Like,
because they both rip it through each other. It was a cool moment, and they're back to back, and it cuts back to the bathhouse.
And then the moment passes, and they have a moment of talk no jutsu, but it's so genuine. Genta's like, let it go. Like,
he's like, it's all good, man. Like, it's cool. We're good. We're fucking good. Relax. Like,
let it go.
Come home, man. Like, come hang out with me. And Vale hits him with the Junpei's dead, huh? I'll never forgive you. And then just goes back into him.
He goes, you might have forgiven me, but I'll never forgive you. I fucking lost it, man. I couldn't, because immediately Masumi goes, do it now. Do it fucking now.
Yeah.
Genta sprints, grabs the fucking rolling vice thing, and stamps himself. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yep. He brings Vale home. That's what it is. He brings him home, man. And Genta's going to be for the better, you know? And Vale's apparently going to be a good guy now, but that's another. We're not going to talk about that. Peacemaker saying that they also changed the title and stuff to reflect Vale into Stream. They absolutely did, and he's saying they hijacked the show for the better. Yeah, this is by far the best arc that's happened to the entire show.
Absolutely, this is the end of Revice for me. I'm sorry, guys. So everything else is GT. I'll treat it accordingly, but God, the fact that I'm getting worked up just remembering it, bro. Like, I can't express how complete that made the ending for me.
Yeah.
In terms of everything else that happens, I don't even care. Like, whatever. At this point, I got an ending that I am so satisfied with.
Yeah. No, this was a really good episode, and this is what I mean by, like, this was a roller coaster of episodes where it's like, oh, we got this really high point, and we're going back down to some bullshit. All right, cool. Because immediately the next episodes, they're just whatever. They're just not good. Yeah. Like, they're just kind of like baddie of the week sort of thing vibes going on. I don't even remember. That was 42. I don't even remember what happened the next two episodes, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, Gi finally makes his move on Masumi is succumbing to his wounds.
Yes, that's right.
Everybody's out of commission. Kamen Rider shows up to fucking Deus Ex Machina everybody to safety.
Yep.
Gifu revives Akaishi again, and then Akaishi goes full Joker, like fucking let's burn the world.
Yep. Because there's a reason why, though, because Gifu tells him that he no longer cares about saving humanity. He just wants to destroy it at this point.
Yeah, so he had his chance, so it's over. Like, and then Akaishi manipulates him by giving up his immortality for power up, and then
he gets the Tamaki fucking red form kind of thing going on. And then immediately Masumi confirms his full dickitude.
I was gonna get there.
Yeah, like this is what I mean is he can't shake this, because every time you're like, oh, Masumi's maybe not that bad, he says something and you're like, you are the biggest asshole in the world. Oh my god.
Yeah. So George, being one of my favorite characters, was a lot to do with his personality.
Yeah.
Now we come to find out that that's potentially not him.
Yeah.
It is very possible that every aspect of George that is either a genius or a fanboy is because Papazaki put in his inner demon into George.
Yep.
As a baby, as a fucking baby.
The kid was like 3 years old.
I did
sleeping.
it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
No, when you were turning your back, I kind of just stamped you. No, this is when he's like 5. Like,
wild.
Fuck, bro.
Wild. The question, not even questionable, the terrible morals this dude has.
Like, Eren Yeager's father is probably like, damn, bro.
He's like, wow, you kind of suck.
Grisha's tightening his collar like, I but yeah, so who knows? God. Because it's not something that's even really brought up. It's something that George hears, storms off, and then for some reason brews on that for the next 2 episodes. And really it becomes too much to a point where it even plays into the plot, bro. Because of his pissed off brooding and his avoidance of the whole situation, he straight up misses his father's death. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's fine because of the impact that it's supposed to imply, that he was so enraged that he couldn't get over his hubris, that he just wanted to fucking forget it all. And then finally when he gives, it's too late. Okay, we get it. But at that point, what catharsis is he gonna get with his father then?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Peacemaker saying this is all set up for the movie, since that demon inside of George is the main villain for it, besides Damon, who is the
Kimida, the Kimida movie.
Yeah. So, or either that or the Geats movie, one of those two. So
anyway,
yeah, I don't know.
Really?
I'm just saying, it is 44, and we're still dropping these like ridiculous bombshells to grasp at straws here to keep people interested for the next 6 episodes. That's all I'm saying.
Again, George's character was always one of my favorites, but now that they're doing that shit, it's gonna go nowhere.
Gonna go absolutely nowhere. He's gonna get a new like whatever demons form, because by the way, demons shows up again.
Oh wait, yeah, we were getting there because it did. So let's see what else happened.
Daiji throws a super tantrum immediately afterwards.
Aishi goes full rage modes. He needs a minute to do the Piccolo power up.
Yes, I forgot about that. So while Akaishi, the big problem of this season is in a Super Saiyan 3 mode, the jobbers run in and go, "We got this." And Jobber Demon, and I don't mean the troopers, I'm gonna call him Jobber Demon because fuck this guy. Jobber Demon literally says, "Hold them off while I do this thing I've been practicing." So Aguilera and Sakura are trying to fight this uber powerful dude while he's just sitting there stamping himself with like 10 things and trying to like
again.
And then you know what he gets? A big dumb CG form. And y'all know how I feel about some big dumb CG forms.
It is a final remix Kamakiri with less impressiveness shit to it, because it's pointless because he doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't achieve anything.
Nope.
It knocks him down. And that's it.
Yep.
Because what happens after it knocks Akaishi down? Terminator fucking Daiji shows up after like walking through everybody.
Yep.
And he's like, Akaishi has this final moment where he's like, "Hey, what do you say?" And then fucking Daiji blasts him right in the fucking chest.
Yeah, it was kind of great actually. Cause he's like, "Hey, yeah, you're gonna like help us out now, right?" That's it.
And
Disrespectful.
Yeah. And then in the moment, you also see where they tried to do like the whole final turn for Akaishi. Like, you know what? You were right. I couldn't have saved everybody. Like, what?
I think this moment, honestly, deserved the fucking Hokkaido treatment, where I wish Daiji just walked by, blasted him, and kept going. The most disrespect. If he did that, I would be like, Daiji's the greatest fucking character ever. Oh my god.
He would have immediately made up for all that bullshit.
He would have immediately. I would have handled 100 tantrums for him to do that shit to Akaishi.
No, instead, what does he do? He Sasuke's the shit out of everything.
Yep.
He goes, cool, you're dead. Hey, Gif, why don't you make a contract with me? Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you?
Everyone heavy sighs at the same time.
Like slapping foreheads going, oh, what the fuck? And so yeah, that literally happens immediately after. Mm-hmm. So that's where the episode ends. Daiji wants to form the contract. Vice gets sucked into the hell butthole
because he tackles Daiji out of the way of this contract.
Yes, the contract is apparently it's contact based. So if it doesn't touch you, it's not solid.
Yeah. So he didn't sign the signature with his face, so it doesn't matter. And Vice tackles him out of the way and gets sucked into the interdimensional butthole that Geef comes from. So
this is where we're finally introduced to two concepts. One, that Revice and Vice can communicate through the belt, and Geef can speak.
Yeah, Geef can just normally talk, apparently. In this, I don't know if it's a dimensional thing, but I literally text you and I was like, wait, Geef can fucking talk? Like, what is happening?
So they have this fourth wall break with Vice where he even says, wait, he can talk normally in here? Like, yeah. That's literally what we all felt at the same moment. And I'm sorry we had to experience that through Vice, but legitimately, that's the level of ridiculous that it is. Yep. Like, wait, seriously? He can speak normally now. And to mention who the voice is. So apparently they had Kakashi's voice actor for a weekend because he was doing a Dawn Brothers episode or something. And they were like, hey, why don't you voice a couple lines for this fucking character? Because we don't know what else to do with him. So it's Kakashi's voice actor.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. I think is he Don Murasame? Is that who it is?
One of those, I guess. I gave up on Dawn Brothers.
Interesting.
Yes. So that's why the voice isn't too extreme in either way. It's kind of very underwhelming because Kakashi's the mumble king. You know what I mean? It's like very monotone unless he's doing something.
Reading his porn.
Geef never emotes. Even when Revice and Vice like knock him from one of his buttholes, like it's so fucking weird. Did you see that moment?
Yes.
They knock him from one of his buttholes by using their powers, and he like wobbles down.
Yeah, they do this weird like it this is what I mean, like this form is kind of an excuse they could just kind of do whatever with, because they like do their like clappy north-south pole magnetized thing and they just like hit him with these weird like magnet tendrils, and that's what stops him, and then he just kind of like it was almost like someone didn't like move the JPEG or something.
Yeah, they just like weird waved it, like it was so bad. But anyway, so in the butthole dimension, he is still monologuing the same fucking Reaper principle. So it's legitimate, the case that it's coming out of Gif himself, that the whole purpose of this is to ultimately reset humanity because it can't be trusted, and the cosmos is mine. Lame. Fucking lame. But humanity will survive because the Igarashis are super special because they have the Gifu cells. So everybody else is just going to be used to be vessels to bring forth more demons. That's the only purpose that humanity will serve to Gif now.
Yep. And it annoys him that the Igarashis work so well with their demons.
Yeah.
He literally says that. Cool. That's a thing. So, yeah. Gif sucks is what we're getting at. Gif is kind of a terrible character.
Gif is a lazy excuse for a final villain.
Is it lazier than Ghost's big one-eye guy, though?
It's kind of debatable because at least the Ghost one-eye was a cataclysm. You know what I mean? Like, there was a problem if it actually won. This, you can't do anything without humans. You know what I mean? Like, you're dependent on what you're claiming you want to wipe out.
Your alien race is dependent on humans.
Like, you're fucked from the get-go. Like, you know what I mean? You couldn't even convince people to get stamped. You know what I mean? Like,
it's
fuck out of here.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying with the whole like Revice roller coaster. Like it kind of just gets pretty terrible. And then, you know, as Daiji is still moping about not having a contract, Hiromi says, "Let me handle it."
Oh God.
He's out of nowhere. He says, "Let me handle it." So he takes the Demon's Driver and confronts Daiji. Remember, they literally said 3 episodes earlier that he cannot henshin again. And you know what he does? He henshins.
They had a contest of who is the biggest loser, who can take the most L's and come out the winner.
Yep.
And obviously Hiromi won.
Yeah. So they have a fight. It's a whatever fight, honestly.
You get to see demons again.
You get to see demons again, which is great. You know, you guys know I love me some demon suit. I'm down for it. Anything with demons in there, except for like when it's not really Hiromi, because George was kind of whatever too. Anyway, they fight, and they do have a really cool moment where it's like they call it the like holy finish and the demons finish, which is a cool little like this is pretty cool. And then they do the thing. They kick each other. Hiromi loses, obviously, but somehow demons is apparently as powerful as Holy Live. Not going to get into power levels here, but
power scaling doesn't make sense anymore.
Nope, it doesn't matter. It's based on your heart.
Is able to dispatch a Hell Giftarian? Are you serious? No.
All of a sudden, after getting his ass beat 3 seconds earlier, so they do the thing, and then Hiromi seems like he is literally dying in Daiji's arms.
No, he's immortal.
He even falls asleep. And I'm not going to say he dies. He falls asleep because he gets up 2 seconds later.
The false death flags are so much.
I just like this was your moment to bring him back and be like, cool, he's back, and then kill him. And that's what gives Daiji the turn back to being a good guy, because he starts crying and doesn't know what to do. And he wants Kagero's help. And so because he cries onto the Holy Live stamp, it awakens the evil titty
YTY Live. I don't know why this is a thing. You know what would have been a great name? Kamen Rider Purgatory. Kamen Rider
Purgatory would have been a cool name.
Kamen Rider Elysia. Something in between. No, you had to go
evil titties.
Throw up on your keyboard and was like, you know what? That's not bad.
What do you think about this form?
It's better because of the additional colors, but I wish the undersuit would have been blue, because the green it threw me back to the Chase Mach first time when they just took the 2 parts and stacked them, and then they went and made Mach Chaser. So I think with one more rework, it'll be all right.
Yeah, I agree. It would have looked, if like the kind of silverish color was the blue from Holy Live, I think it would have worked a little better.
I don't know.
Peacemaker saying they're busting out the electrical tape for this form because it has to be spelled with the same forwards and backwards like Evil Live.
Okay, so if it has to be a palindrome, I don't know. Fucking
it's Evility Live. Oh God, this is fucking. I don't know if I like this one, honestly. You know what it is? You know what? I hate when they do these like cheap cape things on Kamen Rider forums. I really don't like it.
It's very like flare. The short capes don't make much sense.
It's not even that it's short. It looks like tissue paper, quite literally. Like, why is it so thin? Why is it so anything? Like, why even have it at that point? Like,
because he has the 2 little wings above him too.
That's like, cool, but like, he could have just had the cool little wings.
I don't.
Yes, it is the Tao Legacy cape. Yes.
This whole design is hinging on just the additional color. You know what I mean? The idea that you're fusing the 2, and then it doesn't.
You mean putting black accents on it? Yes.
Exactly, and it's about as powerful. It doesn't even look powerful. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like an upgrade. It just looks like, I don't know. It fits Daiji. Useless.
Yeah.
So. 2 other things.
Useless.
Hiromi, actually, the one moment that we didn't mention that we should have is that George makes Hiromi promise to never use his catchphrase again.
Oh,
before he gives him the driver.
And then he actually says that as he's dying. He's like, I was told never to use that again.
I was told never to use it again. Like, that's fucking perfect.
So, this.
So they defeated GIF, and they seal him back in one of his buttholes. So they think that they legitimately won. Like they've won the day. That's kind of the vibe that they were giving themselves. Even though nothing about that. I mean, okay, it was an effort to to put him in the hole, but there was no implication that he was defeated.
Yeah.
They just imply that he was sealed up, but in no way has it ever been shown that he can't just reopen the butthole. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like what's stopping him from just like coming to hang out again?
Like, yeah, like how do you imply that? Oh, he's sealed away forever, but you know, he got there through the same door.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah. Daiji finally comes home. Yukimi gets I feel great for Yukimi because at the end of this episode, she has a big smile because she's finally got her kids.
Because she's the best. Yukimi, I can't wait till she gets her own rider form. It's gonna be adorable. I hope she gets the Triceratops and it's just like fucking obnoxious.
I told her she's gonna be the most powerful one.
I hope so. God, I hope so. I hope it's not just like a repaint of like Holy Live or some bullshit.
So I don't know how many episodes are left though, but it doesn't feel like it feels like whatever is left is not gonna be good.
Peacemaker saying, but it's their butthole, not Geeves. He totally can't find the key. Cue one episode later when he finds the key. Because that's how Revice fucking is. We're getting 50 episodes apparently.
Okay, so it is solid 50. All right.
Yep. And then the movie, I'm sure. And is that including a crossover episode? Is it like 49 then a Geets crossover episode kind of thing?
I hope we get another Saber one where Geets is like completely not what he's supposed to be, and then
I should have trusted my gut when I saw that Saber crossover episode. And yeah, I don't regret watching this. I'm tired of watching Revice at this point, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So
I think if they would have ended where Genta ended and cut out everything they had, it would have been good.
If Genta and Vale's story was Iki and Vice's story, I would be much more involved in this show. Period. True. So, should we get into some predictions? What do you think is going to happen in the next couple episodes?
Well, I know that there's a couple spoilers. Sakura gets another form.
She gets another form. I didn't see that.
Yeah, weapon, because it doesn't look much different. Let's see if I could find a still of it, but it doesn't look like she gets much of an upgrade.
Interesting. I didn't know I haven't seen that. Apparently they leak the Geets. Someone has leaked the Geets.
Oh yes,
cameo from the movie.
We can talk about that. I have a couple images of him. Yeah, I'm not seeing this upgrade. It just looks like she gets the stingers, a couple stingers.
Like the honeybee thing?
They look like glives, but the two separate glives, something like that. See if I can find it. I'll try to track it down. Anyway,
okay, so she's getting a new form-ish type thing.
Yeah, and then we're getting another thing which is called Kamen Rider Igarashi.
Yeah, that's something that's happening apparently.
Yeah. I don't know where this is coming into play.
I'm assuming this is the movie form.
I just dropped it into the Discord. It looks a mess.
It's Thundergale with Holy Live's chess piece, and it literally says 50 on it. Are we going to talk about that for a second?
Thing. I don't know. I don't know where this is.
Yeah, it has yeah, this is definitely this is their fucking Trinity is what this is.
True. This is
going to be their Trinity.
This is their Trinity form, and this is what happens when the original producers who didn't have any say in Ultimate Revice were like, yeah, but we want this. This is the ultimate, right? This is the ultimate form? Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
It is for the movie. So, yep.
Good.
Yeah. I mean, it's a movie form, so I expect nothing less of them just repainting pieces, but like, it literally says 50. It's a little on the nose, isn't it?
So that's the movie that we're getting this introduction, huh?
Yep.
Great.
So, yeah.
Great.
We'll see.
Yep.
So yeah,
Igarashi form.
That's the Igarashi form.
I mean, I like that there are tactical uniforms underneath. That feels like probably they're doing something slightly serious, but you know, the form implies that it's gonna be trash, just trash.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, at this point, it's gonna be for me. It's gonna be just shenanigans to like make disappear. Honestly, I'm sure like because they're in these tactical things, I'm sure something's going to happen where they have to go to like full blown demon war at the end of this show. Whether it's like Geef is destroyed, but it really kickstarts something else kind of thing, or what? I don't know.
I can tell you one spoiler that'll guide you.
Okay.
I don't know how, but Geef gets a grip onto Vice and possesses him.
Interesting.
Don't know how. I just saw the preview, and Vice now has Geef eyes. Something's up. So whatever happens with that is where we'll go for the end game. So it might end up to the whole thing becoming the prediction where, you know, eventually Iki has to off Vice.
Yes. Or and then they'll cleanse that, and like Peacemaker is saying, they'll kick him really hard in a renamed base form to end the show.
A second butthole. Yeah,
you'll get like Neo Rex, and it looks exactly the same. Maybe it's a teeny bit more sparkly, but it'll look exactly the same.
It's a second butthole with a ring light above it, so they know when he's fucking around. That's what.
I mean, that's what Genta got, so you know it's cool.
It's true. It's at the back door.
Yeah. So, I'm just ready for this show to be over at this point.
Are you? Because need I remind you what we're looking to go into after Revice?
Yeah. So let's talk about Geets. We'll just get into the news now. We'll just start with Geets.
All right.
So
I'm gonna drop 2 images here. Go ahead.
Geets is our new rider we have going. It is something.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
Okay, so there's a couple images of the best aspect of this guy, that helmet. So, all right.
Kitsune themed, by the way, which is the demon fox.
Yes. To be fair, when I saw the spoiler, I sent you the message. I've come to terms with it. This is a reality. I'm not fucking crazy. But I wrote this plot 4 years ago or some shit like that. and when I read it, I reread it and reread it, and I'm like, yeah, I wrote this plot 4 fucking years ago for a story where I went so fucking bananas. I had an algebraic equation developed for my point system. Like,
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I had a math nut create a point system for me for this arena style thing. So essentially, Geets is a gamer who competes in this reality, sub-reality shooting game where the goal is when you win, you get a world-changing wish. In a nutshell, that's the plot. This genius level Emu gamer is taking part in this. That's all that revealed so far.
So the official blurb: who will be the true hero? Rampage stylishly in the survival game. The White Fox Rider, Kamen Rider Geets, is born. Entrants are thrown into a survival game to uphold peace. The winner is the true hero. The Desire Grand Prix is a game to protect the peace of the city from the threat of the mysterious enemy Yamato. I'm going to go with Yamato. Whose origin and purpose are unknown. Many participants transform into Kamen Riders and compete for points by defeating enemies and saving people in order to win the game. This is literally WMAC Masters. Just saying.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's that.
The winner of the Desire Grand Prix will be rewarded the privilege to realize their ideal world. In other words, only the winners, the true heroes, will be able to create the world they wish for. Survival games such as Fortnite and Apex Legends are popular video game genre with children, and the unpredictable and thrilling nature of the genre is coming together with Kamen Rider this year. The White Fox is the key motif for Kamen Rider Geets, donned by the mysterious youth Ace Ukyo. Ace Ukyo. With the air and composure of a genius, he declares that he will be the one to win in the end. We're having another split rider genius, by the way, because everyone loves Build.
So, what do you think of the design?
I personally think it's kind of lazy. I'm hoping the forms will make it better. There's so much just black bodysuit on this. I don't get it.
More negative space than there needs to be. The contrasting colors are a bit why? I mean,
I like the armor pieces, right? Like, I like the upper body. It's the lower body really that bugs me, and I like the calves. Like there just needs to be something in the middle. That's really my big issue. And like the driver is really cool looking.
Empty. You feel like it's too empty.
It's too empty. Like you have cool stuff up top from like, you know, chest up, very cool. Knees down, very cool. In the middle, I'm not feeling it. Arms, middle, chest, torso, not feeling it because the driver is the only thing that has anything going on there. Quite literally. It has some little accent pieces, but it's not doing a whole lot. The only other thing I really like is his like a RoboCop gun he's got going on here. So
the Magnum looks dope, but I mean, call it what it is. It feels like they took, I don't know, a half an idea, designed the basics so that eventually they'll get to what they want.
Because got a scarf. That's neat.
Is it part of the suit or is it part of the form?
No, it's part of the suit, I think.
Okay. The helmet looks like a hollowed out version of the Ultimate Revice thing.
So like, he's a half and half form, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. He like switches the tops and bottoms.
Build double
again. So you got the big thing everyone's picking out now is, you know, double was the vertical, build is the diagonal, and this is the horizontal.
It's not good. not inspired, I should say. The driver, I'm interested. The driver looks like it'll be interesting enough that whatever gimmicks will be entertaining. You know what I mean? Like it looks like the gimmicks will be entertaining.
Yeah.
But I don't know what else to make of it.
My thing is like with this story, this sounds to me like literally Garo versus Road.
Is that excuse me.
So Garo versus Road, if anyone has not seen it, which I know you haven't seen it either.
Yep.
Essentially they play a battle royale style game, quite literally like Battle Royale the movie, not just a battle royale.
Gotcha.
But it is also a battle royale game where they are in a VR unit that basically if they die in the game, they die for real. Oh. And they are battling for the Goro armor. And the more that they pump out emotions and are stressed out by this game, the more powerful the armor becomes. This sounds exactly like that. It also sounds like Battle Royale the movie. It also / mangas. It also sounds like let's see, Jujutsu Kaisen, or not Jujutsu Kaisen.
The culling game, yeah. I mean, the idea of a tournament-esque type thing, battle royale type.
Judy Tyson. I'm sorry, that's the one I was thinking of. Judy Tyson.
It's not even like that's the part that's like the worst. It's the fact that there doesn't. That's it. You know what I mean? Like they didn't say what his struggle is. You know what he wants out of it. So unless that is top notch, now this is where the writer comes into play. Takahashi. Now we got 01, we got X8. People have mixed feelings about them, and I get it. Like you said earlier about X8, where you feel a lot of plot points weren't tied up. I feel that the characters came through stronger in X8, and in 01 we got relationships that were stronger than in X8. So his writing has improved in terms of the relationships. Now his overall plots go way out of whack, so we might end up with, you know, a Thouser arc again.
Yep.
So I don't know how excited to be about him, but the one element that I hope is true is the connected universe. This idea that it's all in the same world is what Reiwa should be, in my opinion.
My thing, oh boy, my thing with this whole thing is, one, the trailer that they released. I don't know if you saw this little like bumper thing that they put out where it's just Revy and Vice, and then like Gates is there. It looked like Memory of Heroes 2, and I thought it was, and now I'm really disappointed that it's not. So there's that. That already like soiled my taste a little bit. The one thing I will say, and I'm not the hugest fan of this base suit, but it wouldn't be the first time I'm not a huge fan of the base suit, and then the rest of the show just grows on me. Smart Brain apparently has some kind of tie to this, which from Fies has some kind of tie to this.
Because they did the president's thing. That's the one thing. So yeah.
Okay. There's some kind of tie to this in that sense, which excites me a little bit. And there's even like the red lines through the suit, that kind of thing, similar to Fai's. So
like if you're telling me they're starting to craft the it even felt gross to say, the endgame cast for Reiwa. You know what I mean? Like you start with 01 as Iron Man. You know what I mean? And you give us your Marvel version of an endgame, that could work if it's all interconnected. See, if you make it make sense.
That would work if we didn't get an endgame every single goddamn year. Or like this year, we got 4 of them.
Like, yeah, that's where I should have. Yeah, you're right. If they hold off on that, but they can't because money. But, if they were to try.
Yeah, that's my kind of thing with that. Yeah. It's just, it's something. So that's, yeah.
I think an American adaptation for that would have to go that route, because we're so accustomed to that now. Like everything is its own fucking universe. Everything is its own point to become an endgame scenario. That if you were to adapt any Kamen Rider again, I think it should be that route in order to appeal to the most amount of people. And but make it work. You know what I mean? Like,
there's really not, I don't think, now that I'm thinking about it, it seems like they're kind of trying to rehash Heisei a little bit. Like if this one is Fai's, Rex would be kind of Ryuki, but really not really. The only theme would be like the lizard dinosaur type thing, dragons, dinosaurs, that kind of deal. Agito is not really the same as Saber at all. With Kuga, you can kind of argue that 01 was more like Showa than it was Heisei in some aspects. If they're trying to do that kind of like mirror paralleling kind of thing, if that is the case, I'm kind of down for seeing like a new age Hibiki and kind of them redoing that, to be honest. Because like, I've mentioned how much I actually love the suits of Hibiki. The show itself is kind of like very hit or miss for me, depending on the episode, honestly.
Very miss.
Or very miss, yeah, because I bounced off it 3 times now. But the suits are badass. And a lot of that has to do with it not being a Kamen Rider to begin with. But, seeing something kind of rehashed like that, where it's like we kind of got that a little bit with Revice, where the more like organic look almost like the Amazons kind of thing, except, that kind of turned into like Heisei suits too. But like something more of that Hibiki style coming from one of these riders would be really cool. And, y'all aren't getting Shinobi, so it's official. You can drop that.
I'm so sorry, guys.
I'm just saying.
So sorry.
But, it's a Kitsune with a scarf. So,
could be the
Shinobi and Fuma and what's the other, Hikari or something like that. They could be players in this game. Just saying. Right.
There could be teams.
I would put money that they're going to have some kind of Shinobi short movie spinoff, whatever, this year.
I don't know much about the Fortnite shit. So is there guilds or shit like that?
No.
Like
there's duos, trios, and single queues.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can either pair up with someone, pair up with 2 people, or you can just do it yourself and do like the 100-man battle royale. So,
I'm gonna go with that. There's gonna be at least 3. There'll be 3.
I think we're gonna get another season of like a ton of riders, and some of them are gonna be very like Revice. We have so many riders in Revice to the point where it's exhausting now.
But we got used to that with Saber.
But like Sabers were interesting. None of these are interesting.
Fair enough. I don't know. I hope that whatever story that they're gonna come up with, the Shenlong ending with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, I hope that it at least makes sense.
I love me a good tournament arc. I will be the first person to tell you I love me a good tournament arc. Them's my bread and butters. We actually talked about that on the newest episode of the other podcast we do.
Nice. Good one.
Kaiju Carl's Coffee Corner. See that? Plugged it. Boom. Done. And there is a particular tournament arc called Junie Tyson, which is what I was trying to think of when I was thinking of the animes, that does something similar. It's another one of these battle royale tournament type things that would be very interesting that Kamen Rider would never do, because then they wouldn't have their poster child. And it's pretty much every episode you think you finally found your main character and that person gets murked super fucking hard.
Okay, so 12 years ago, fucking, we were talking about what we would do with a rider idea, and I pitched this idea for a belt that transfers from person to person every episode. That the belt is sentient, and it was more like a child focused thing. But if you were to turn it dark, like, that could be fucking bananas, like a Fate Zero type situation. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I also pitched the idea back then of a G Gundam style thing where when two belts meet, it creates a fucking battle arena and you go nuts. And that's a very reality marble that you fucking fight in. That's a very real possibility this season. And if it does, I'm calling dibs on that. And Toei, what's up? I would like my money, thank you. Appreciate it.
We're gonna get Kamen Rider Keanu Reeves, and it's gonna be matrixed out the ass, and it's gonna be so fucking bullet time. And as CG as Saber's first 12 episodes were, I think this is gonna be a million times worse.
I think we're gonna get to a what the fuck is the show called? The Sentai that's on right now. Oh my god.
Don Brothers?
Don Brothers. I think we're getting a Don Brothers level of just CG nonsense everywhere.
Oh yeah, the icky wait.
Like the glasses situation, and then the mech just goes into this CG world. I think that's what we're going to be experiencing here.
I don't want to be negative. It's just I didn't get that gut reaction. Like when I saw Revice for the first time, I knew that the pink was weird, but the design was nice.
Yeah.
This feels the opposite. You know,
like I said, it's that middle chunk that is just missing something for me. It needs literally anything. So we'll see. But that is Kamen Rider Geats. That is going to be premiering in a few weeks. It's probably around the September, October area, like it normally does. You know,
we'll be there.
Probably September. Yeah, we'll check it out. We'll do our check-ins. We'll find another quip from the show to name our check-ins. So yeah, I want to check out that handycam footage. If someone could post that or send it to me on Twitter, that would be fantastic. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I want to see the premiere of this thing. I want to see it move.
I don't know. I think it needs to be crisp. You know what I mean?
Like I said, crisp, but like if the suit moves, it's got personality. I'm down for it. I'll forgive a lot of things if it has, uniqueness. So
Peacemaker coming in for the sync.
Dang. Thank you, bro. There it is. I'm not going to play it on the channel just because I don't want this whole episode to get nuked.
They'll just shoot us.
Yeah. If you want to see it, you can check out the Discord in the description below, or you can just join the link that should be in the Twitch channel below. You guys should also just watch live on Twitch and follow the channel, Kaiju Carl. So, other news, Don Murasame, it's another purple Star Caesar kind of thing going on. This is quite literally Zenkaiger 2, and it's kind of weird, but he's shark based. That's neat. His sword's coming out. Guess where you can get his sword?
Is it a premium Bandai?
It's premium Bandai.
Oh my god, yes.
They also announced, I don't know if we covered it on the last episode or not, but they announced the CSM birth driver with the X unit. That's his O's attachment kind of thing from the specials.
Yeah.
So you can get that now. And you bet your butt it is premium Bandai. And I don't know if this one's going to be coming because I know there was issues with the base. Was it this one? I think there was issues with the base CSM because it had
all 5 pre-orders. Nobody's going to get their. Oh man, they're going to be really upset.
It was more so licensing things with the music. That's why it couldn't come over. So it couldn't.
Really?
Yeah, we couldn't get this one over here because of licensing. I think it was this one. One of them had this. I think it was the birth driver. So if that's the case, I don't know if we'll get the X birth driver because it's still the base CSM driver.
There was an insert song that they played for Evolti, right? And I wrote a note here to look it up, and I never did.
I don't know.
But I thought they stopped with insert songs.
I don't know.
Felt like
I feel like they just play the theme songs now.
It wasn't the theme song for sure, but it was something else.
Yeah. Another announcement specifically for you. They are getting a Ultra Replica Dark Ring, which I think is their like bigger series, from Orb, the Dark Ring, where he turns into the monsters that the Juggler uses.
Listen,
so you can
one day
you
when
can
we do
pre-order
Orb, I'll rehash that boner I have for Orb.
Yeah. And do you know where you can get the Ultra Replica Dark Ring?
I'm getting a suspicion here. I'm getting this vibe of Premium Bandai.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Go figure.
Peacemaker saying that Ultra Kaiju Rancher is also dated for October 20th. There you go.
Ultra Kaiju Ranger?
Yeah, and apparently if you pre-order to pick it up at launch, you get an Ultraman colored Scavenger, which is awesome because Scavenger is a hilarious robot from Ultraman.
Scavenger?
Yeah, Scavenger. Yeah. So Scavenger is just doofy looking. He's
oh my
silly.
god, that is adorable. What the fuck?
It's great. It's an Ultraman X or Z. I thought it was hilarious. So yeah, the toy is actually just announced too. So one of the things you can't get at Premium Bandai is Seismic Toys is producing a limited quantity of this Ultraman colored Scavenger, and then also the reused Godzilla suit.
Oh
yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So you can get the Scavenger and some other stuff. And Seismic Toys is a couple toys coming out, it looks like. So yeah, that's a thing. How do you
thing I remember from Monster Rancher is fucking Mochi and Suezo.
The only thing I remember is that you would get monsters based on what save data you had. I never actually played it. I never actually watched the show because I hated the eyeball thing.
That Suezo, yeah, it's fucking weird.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I
don't know why I know the name.
You know why? Because I had a goddamn Mecha Dragon over here on Digimon Land when that show was on, and I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, but it was legit. Like, it was the weirdest thing. Suezo. Why? Why that name? Doesn't even. Anyway.
Don't ask questions you don't like the answer to.
Sorry.
Speaking of questions you don't like the answer to, do you like live action anime adaptations?
Love it. It's my favorite.
What's your favorite one?
Bleach.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that was a thing.
I don't think I made it 10 minutes into that shit without texting. Like, what the fuck is this?
I watched that whole thing, and I don't remember anything that happens in that movie, even though it's just the manga and anime.
It's the first 20 episodes, like, hypercut and jumbled up and told by a blind, deaf, angry person.
Yeah. So, speaking of reunions of things that happen in anime live action adaptations, they started revealing the cast for the Yu Hakusho adaptation.
Yes.
And Tokuger's Jun Shisan will play Kurama.
Is he? Is he fully CG'd up, or did they put a stupid wig on him?
They put a stupid wig on him, but we're not going to talk about that, I guess. Yusuke Urameshi is going to be played by Kanata Hongo, who is in the Attack on Titan movie, the Full Metal Alchemist movie, and the Gantz movie.
Who's he playing, Gantz?
I'm sorry. They will be playing Hiei.
Hiei?
Yes. Takumi Kitamura is going to be playing Yusuke. They were from Tokyo Revengers. Let me eat your pancreas, whatever the hell that is. Good lord. And I don't see... okay, Shuhei Uesegi is River's Edge. AI Love will play Kuwabara. Have you seen the... Yeah, have you seen the pictures for these?
I'm looking right now.
Okay.
Oh my.
So I don't know if I've really talked about it on this show very much, but we're going to talk about this for a second because it's kind of Toku, live action, special effects, all that kind of stuff. Yu Yu Hakusho is one of my favorite animes of all time, and I normally am like, hey, let's give it a shot. I genuinely don't think you can adapt this anime to a live action in any shape or form because the entire charm of that series is how manga anime is. One, the art style, especially in the anime. Two, just the bond that these people have. And three, it has an energy that you just can't replicate. So I personally am very, very, let's say,
none of them
negative.
Look the part. None of them look the part at all, bro. None of them. It would be difficult to even cast someone that could even look convincing. Yeah. But they didn't even try.
Like, why is Kuwabara's hair not red? Why is it not red?
Why is Kuwabara this lanky, skinny, scrawny fuck?
Why is he like 7 feet tall and skinny as hell?
Why does Kurama look like a woman?
I mean, he always looks like a woman. That's kind of his thing.
But they might as well have just cast a woman. Like, I mean, if you wanted it to look like a woman.
That's literally his thing, though, so I'll forgive that. Like, his whole thing is that he looks like a pretty boy. That's his whole thing. But why are his ears so big?
Because
he's a demon. Because he's a demon.
Man is pushing it down.
I'm sure these are great actors. I don't remember who Jun Shinsan is. I don't remember which Tokuger he is. I didn't like Tokuger, but whatever. I just Hiei is my favorite character, and I don't like this test picture that they released. So
how in some pictures does Kuwabara have the pompadour, and then in others he doesn't?
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
Okay, that's fine.
So, let's not also forget that one of my favorite animes of all time is hot off the heels of many people's favorite anime being absolutely butchered by Netflix. Even though they've made a point that it is not produced by Netflix, it is just being released on Netflix. So,
no.
I just
so it goes more in line with everything that they're doing there. Like everything you've heard about the Avatar series that they're doing, everything you've heard. Obviously, now that they've demonstrated what they've done with the Resident Evil thing, anything they touch
turns to shit.
Comes from, well, yes, but it's because it comes from such a disingenuous place.
Yeah,
it's so for the message, for the market, for the money that the fans, we always are like, yeah, but why do we watch it then? You know what I mean? Like, we shouldn't even watch it. Don't give them the revenue of even clicking it to talk shit about it.
But I'm going to. I'm absolutely going to fucking watch this and be miserable for the entire time.
It's just, but that's what I feel like that's what they make them for now. What is it? No news is good. No, even bad press is good press. You know what I mean? Like some shit like that. But don't expect more Death Note and more like Bleach and less anything positive.
I'm so like annoyed by this live action. I feel like these decisions are made when there's some kind of buzz around a series, right? There's some kind of anything. Like we had the Blu-rays come out not too long ago. I think they were released in, outside Japan not too long ago, where they had the new OVAs where they just do different things. Like Kurama and Hiei are a lot younger. It's kind of how they meet, that sort of thing. It's little side stories that they did OVAs for that are released with the Blu-rays. And that stirred up some buzz because, we haven't really talked about Yu Yu Hakusho in 20 years because that show is over. That was a series that ended 20 years ago because the creator went on to do Hunter x Hunter, stuff like that.
Whoa, who are they casting as Toguro?
I don't.
Oh my God. Wait, who? What?
They haven't announced it yet. I don't. Okay. It's going to be. God. Honestly, the kid who's playing Kuwabara, and I say kid, but it's a dude. Like it's a grown adult. Like I could see him being Toguro, honestly. Like, how lanky Toguro starts and then he gets the big swole form. But I could see Netflix. Him as Toguro.
No, it's Netflix. They're gonna cast an MMA fighter. It'll be Yushin Okami. Watch.
It'll be fucking like what they did in like Fearless and all that when they cast like a big American dude.
Yeah, it's just like angry looking brolic guy who's just
it's just like Brock Lesnar because of course.
Oh my God, that's exactly who it'll be.
So we'll see. We'll fucking see. Oh my God. Peacemaker saying he can only wish that it's better for me than Halo was for him, and I doubt it. I severely doubt it.
Halo, God.
But I just, you know what I mean? Like I feel like these decisions are made when there's buzz about something that is beloved by a certain fandom and they think, oh, we can capitalize on that. And I'm not going to pretend that I know if any of these directors or anyone who has real power in these productions, because with production companies, there's multiple levels of power. And it also depends on what country it's in, things like that. The producer could be, end all be all for decisions. It could be the director's hands. It could be a combination of both, that kind of thing. There's many pieces that work into production of movies and TV, but it feels like 99% of the time it's someone who has no idea about this franchise or just was like, oh, I saw like an episode or two. It was pretty cool. I get the idea.
No, to tie back into what I said when we started, the Rings of Power and Halo, now that Peacemaker reopened that fucking wound, Halo,
we don't follow
and
the
Rings
canon.
Of Power suffer from the same issue. And it breaks down like this. They had the license. They hired the people that were supposed to be needed to keep the plot loyal to the source, and they fired them. because they fought them.
They were calling them out on everything.
Implants and all the bullshit that they were trying to pull with the characters and the story, that they fired the source ties. And it drives me insane that they did this with fucking Rings of Power. But with Halo, it's almost like every episode they spat in your face.
Halo, they straight up said, like, oh, we're not going to look at the source material.
No, and that's the misconception. They did.
Oh.
They did. But they ignored it because they wanted to focus on the characters and not the plot. They didn't want to tell the same game plot, which is stupid because that's what we signed up for, you shit.
You know how you do that? You just make it about a different fucking Spartan.
No. Who cares? Who cares if you give us Halo 1?
Master Chief.
Give us Halo 1 and I bet you it'll sell bricks, bro.
Yeah.
I bet you that'll blow out your doors if you just give us Halo 1 because that's what we want.
Yeah, but it's not. But you saw John Halo's face.
No, we saw John Halo's cheeks.
Oh, my bad. You saw John Halo's cheeks. My fault. I don't know. I've never seen the fucking show. I don't have any desire to.
It's not Master Chief. It's Master Cheeks.
Cheeks. Okay.
It is.
Wait, butt cheeks or face cheeks? I heard there was some Spartan butt cheeks in there somewhere.
Yeah, all man butt. All man butt all the time. I love it.
I'm here for it. I'm here for Spartan cheeks. Yeah, I am not excited for that in any way, shape, or form. And I am in the camp of you cannot adapt this faithfully. So please do not try. So we'll see. I hope I am super disappointed in those expectations and it's actually fantastic.
Right? We're gonna come back and like, did you see this shit? They fucking nailed it.
Yeah. I'm gonna come back and be like, this is better than fucking Rurouni Kenshin. Holy shit.
Spirit Gun's amazing. Yeah. I can't believe that they made it look real.
No. Oh my god, that's not gonna happen. I you know what speaking of a spirit gun effect, right? Do you remember
cut to like a sport gun, just like
one step below that even. Did you ever see The Legend of Chun-Li?
I don't think I made it to the end, bro.
When she does her Kikosho, I was reminded of this by another podcast that I watched the other day. I was reminded of this moment. I had blocked it from my memory. It's essentially a JPEG that they just scale up.
Stop.
I'm not joking.
Really?
Yeah, okay. I am not joking. It is essentially a JPEG. It's just look up Legend of Chun-Li Kikosho. And you will see what I'm talking about. And she is fighting Bison, by the way, before you ask who that is Bison that she is fighting.
Chun-Li Kikosho.
The Legend of Chun-Li Kikosho. I want live reactions on this.
What?
It's literally a JPEG that they just scale.
Bro, it's not even the right color.
It's not anything.
What is that?
Anything.
They didn't even try.
Because this movie's fucking terrible.
Bison's that guy? That's Bison?
That's Bison.
Why?
He doesn't do a single fucking Psycho Crusher in that entire movie.
That's like what they did with Wesker.
Yeah.
We're just gonna make him
but at least Wesker looked like Wesker in a cosplay sense. You know what I mean?
No.
They didn't even try with Bison.
Oh, Wesker looks like Blade. He looks like Butterknife.
Exactly. He's Butterknife. But you know what? They tried. They tried to give him the coat and the Matrix thing. At least he could have at least worn a red suit. That's all I'm saying.
They don't even wait. He doesn't don the hat. Nothing. He's just a guy named Bison.
He's just a dude named Bison.
Amazing. I gotta see this movie now.
It's the worst fucking movie I have ever seen. Like, you know how the Street Fighter the movie is like entertainingly bad? This movie is just trash.
Is Michael Clark Duncan Balrog?
Yes, he is.
That's fine. I'll take it.
Do you know who plays Vega?
Ooh.
The fucking dude from what is it? God, hang on. He's from what fucking band? Black Eyed Peas.
Wait, you mean like the literal guy from Black Eyed Peas?
Yeah, like it's one of the guys from Black Eyed Peas.
Why?
Who the fuck is it? I don't know. You know, that Spanish dude from straight out of Spain.
Why? What the fuck? Who directed this?
It's some clown. I don't know.
I gotta know. Legend of Chun-Li director.
Taboo. That's who fucking plays Vega.
Who?
Taboo from the Black Eyed Peas.
I know nothing of the Black Eyed Peas other than they make terrible music.
You're gonna see him and you're like, wow, it's that guy. Okay.
Oh, I see who you're talking. Yeah, see, I wouldn't have even picked him out of a lineup. You could have told me.
That's Vega. Yep. Oh my god. And he wears like a paintball mask. Don't even get me started on that fucking movie. Holy shit. Moving on to more Toku news. Hurricaneger 20th Anniversary Festival is going to be held in September, which is kind of cool. The Hurricaneger named Hurrifest, clever, will be held in Wakayama Marina City. The event will begin in Avatar Sentai Dawn Brothers versus Ninpu Sentai Hurricaneger special stage battle. All 5 of the original team members from the show will appear. This includes Shunshio Nao Nagasawa, Kohei Yamamoto, Yujiro Shirakawa, and Nobuo Kang. Shirakawa will also perform the Shinobi Change theme live for the first time in 20 years, which is badass. Okay.
That's not bad.
Oh my god, the same guy who directed Doom made Legend of Chun-Li. Jesus fucking Christ, that explains so much.
Yeah, I was going to let it go, but I brought up his IMDb, and this man is a menace.
Menace to goddamn society.
He must be stopped.
Yeah.
He's the Cradle to the Grave, Exit Wounds, fucking Romeo Must Die, all of these sacrilegious Jet Li movies that came out, like, dude, no. Lethal Weapon 4? No.
Oh my god.
This guy must be shot and stopped. Like, although he did give a Species, that was okay.
Was it though?
No.
Okay. Well.
Oh no, I take it back. Twins. He made Twins.
I don't even know what that fucking movie is. So
you never saw Twins?
Nope.
That's like one of the. If you take the most ridiculous idea of having Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito play twins.
Oh, that movie. I know of the movie. I don't remember the last time I've ever seen it. If
you
ever.
Shouldn't. You shouldn't. It's just a thing that exists.
Great. There is, speaking of great things that I can rub in everyone's face, there is a new NHK Ultraman poll out. So I can call everyone out again on some other Ultraman that I know nothing about. But Ultraman Z is the best. So get out of here. So it doesn't matter.
But that's like Superman. You know what I mean? Like, apparently he's like the equivalent of everybody just liking Batman because Batman's dope.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So everyone just likes Zet because he's dope?
That's what I'm thinking, because his design is the most different and dope of the Ultramen in terms of first impression. He's the one that I can pick out first.
Yep.
And I don't know anything other than Orb. But I mean, you know what I mean?
But he also has one of the greatest forms ever called Gamma Future. And that thing is just the most peak fucking Ultraman design. That thing is so sexy.
Is that Gamma Future?
Gamma Future.
Oh. Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. See how... Why can't they all look like this?
Yeah. And apparently he gets a new form. I think it might be in Decker. I don't know. But he gets a Decium Rise claw. I don't know what that's from. But it's basically he's got his Delta Rise claw version that has the Decium thing, but it's just black. And it looks really cool. So
I mean, I'm with it.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
No, I love Ultraman Z. That was a great show. I was here for it. And that's really it for like mainline Toku, I guess. If you want, should we talk about the Marvel stuff?
Yeah, let's drop it in there. I mean, we were asked about it.
Yeah,
so
we'll talk about it a little bit here.
Let's see if I can bring that up because I don't have anything. Oh, okay.
So we did get the Phase 4 and Phase 5 movies. Phase 4 is going to end with Black Panther 2. I don't know if you guys... Oh, it's from Destined Crossroad. Awesome. One more reason to watch it. Fantastic. That's what the Decium Rise form is from. Perfect. I still have to watch New Generation Heroes as well. But yeah, Phase 4 is going to end with Black Panther 2. The trailer did come out, if you guys want to check it out. I am
quite good.
Absolutely going to cry during that movie.
I think that they're going to sell the tickets with a box of fucking tissues. Like, there you go. There you are.
Yeah. So we'll see. They also, I'm sure Chadwick gave his blessing to this movie before he passed away, but they also tweeted the trailer to his Twitter account, which is a little weird to me. Using a dead man's Twitter account, but okay. A little weird, but sure.
Are you surprised
anymore? Like, not really. Especially since GameStop apparently also selling an NFT from 9/11, but we're not going to go there. That's a whole other conversation. I'm not joking. That was a very serious comment that just happened.
God.
So, not to get too far into that, but GameStop opened their NFT store, and one of them is literally a trace over of a picture from someone jumping out of the building during 9/11. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That company. Holy hell.
Anyway,
Marvel.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I see a Loki season 2. That's pretty much the only thing that I know I'm gonna watch.
Yep.
I don't know much about Echo.
The
Secret
Dolphin?
Invasion is supposed to be the the aliens that took the places of like Nick Fury and all those
I think
people,
so.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ant-Man and Wasp, Quantumania obviously is more Ant-Man. I haven't
Yeah.
seen either of those movies, so
I
cool.
don't know how they keep making
I've,
Ant-Man movies. Like he's the most tertiary hero.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, but
yeah,
okay.
it'd be like making an Aguilera movie, which I mean they're doing the lady spinoff, but like it'd be like making an Aguilera movie. It's like, why are we here?
It just doesn't make sense because in no terms can any of his situations not be solved by a superior villain
Yep.
or superior hero in a fraction of the second. Like,
So-
you're telling me the shit that he went through with the Yellow Jacket couldn't have been handled by fucking Martian Manhunter? And,
You know who could have handled that
excuse me, not
real
Martian, Miss Marvel in like 2 seconds? Like,
You know who really could have squashed Yellow Jacket in 3 seconds? Tony, who was literally sleeping like 3 cities over and could have just flown over there in 2 minutes. But you know, whatever, it's fine.
yeah, but now we're getting Ironheart, which is dope. I do like Ironheart.
Ironheart's cool.
Riri has the potential to be amusing in terms of the character, unless they make her fucking deplorable.
Yeah. So just to go through the whole list here, because we're probably going to talk about a little bit of each of these. You got Ant-Man and the Wasp first, Secret Invasion, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Echo the Dolphin, Loki Season 2, The Marvels. We have the Blade movie. I think it's a movie. Ironheart,
Yeah.
Agatha, Coven of Chaos, which is
Why?
Agatha. I don't know. WandaVision.
Why?
It was Daredevil Born Again, which apparently Charlie Cox is resuming his role as Daredevil. Hopefully
Yes.
we see, you know, I would hope I hope this turns into a Defenders movie essentially. And they kind of just reset everyone, because I like all 4 of those actors, honestly, as those characters.
How different is Daredevil from Blind Spot?
I don't know who Blindspot is.
So in The Boys, Homelander is introduced to a hero who is blind and has super hearing senses
Oh.
and claps his fucking ears apart and destroys them.
Oh, I don't remember that part, but yeah, I've seen all
Yeah.
the boys. I don't know. It's whatever.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Daredevil has always been another one of those heroes like the Flash, where it's a one-trick pony. Like, and then they have to force.
Oh, it's a TV
powers
show
that don't
apparently.
make sense.
Daredevil 16 episodes, which is the most for Disney Plus so far, because normally they're 5 or 6. That's awesome. Okay, so all
Isn't
the
he
shows
in
are
the
on the bottom,
She-Hulk
and then the
thing, too?
movies are on top. Yeah, there's a She-Hulk series coming out soon.
Great.
Apparently Riri is in Wakanda Forever. That might be. Is that the little girl that they do like the little high five for in the lab? That might be Riri.
She's a little girl in
There's like a shorter girl in the Wakanda Forever trailer.
Okay.
That the sister kind of gives a. Oh yeah, it is cool. Sick. That's sick. Awesome. Awesome. But yeah, Ironheart. You know what that means? If we get Ironheart, that means we get Infamous Iron Man, and that means we get Doctor Doom. I love me some fucking Doctor Doom.
Don't get excited. We'll get Superior
Well,
Spider-Man.
we have a Fantastic Four movie coming, so and
Wouldn't
Avengers Secret
Alfred
War.
Alfred Molina Superior Spider-Man? That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, I'd be down for that, honestly. So we got that, and then we also have, you know, the new Captain America movie. Yeah, cool. I'm sure it's going to be Sam, but a Sam and Bucky adventure would be fun.
Yeah, it's to kind of do the official handing over.
Yeah.
Of everything.
And like people are like, oh, that's not Captain America, you know, and it's like, he's fucking Captain America. Shut your mouth.
Like, the only people who are still saying that are the people who can't understand the reason they're saying that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why are you really saying that? Why does that really bother you?
Do you think they'll morb in Blade? Do you think they'll morb? Are we gonna morb?
I mean, if they could start the Midnight Suns.
Oh, that's true. We get Ghost Rider back in there.
Oh, bro, you do the Midnight Suns, you throw me John Constantine again. You throw me the John Constantine from the show.
John Constantine is DC.
I mean, I'm sorry, I'm tripping.
Which would be a sick crossover, honestly.
What am I thinking here? Not John Constantine. Who's the other ghost dude? The other witch dude. Etrigan. No.
I have no idea. I just think the only other thing I can think of is like
Rider.
Enchantress.
Who are the Midnight Suns? Ghost Rider?
Spider-Man, Wolverine. I'm just going on. I literally know nothing about the Midnight Suns. I'm just going on who's playable in the new like tactical RPG thing that's coming out.
I'm crossing up my things here. Wolverine. Who's the chick?
Also, Thunderbolts is coming out. I don't know what the fuck Thunderbolts is. Do you?
I don't know who those are. Who are
Okay,
those guys?
cool. great. Or the Marvels, honestly.
Aren't those the guys who work under the Red Hulk?
The Thunderbolts? I have no idea. I know nothing about Red Hulk either, other than he has a fucking gun, because that's what Hulk needed.
Why?
K20 saying yes, that is the ones who work under him. So,
but his whole thing is what, that he's still anti-Hulk. I don't get where they're going with these.
Thunderbolts are the Dark Avengers, essentially. It seems.
Kang Dynasty. Oh, that's Phase 5.
So that's Kang. That's how we're gonna end that bad boy. And then the Fantastic Four is in season 6. So
the Fantastic Four, they only teased that it would be John Krasinski, so it's probably not going to be him.
It might be, it might not be. Who knows?
They said, I see here that they're probably going to cast the guy from You.
I kind of like John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic.
The guy from You, the stalker dude,
the main dude. Oh
yeah, that's. I mean, I could see it, but I don't see him being the smartest guy in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. There's only 2 Avengers movies though this time as opposed to 4. So, that's neat. I'm down for some new Avengers stuff. Well, I'm curious to see who will come back, and I'm sure they'll have. I would put money, since we're doing this whole multiverse thing, that at least 1 or 2 of the main Avengers are coming back.
We haven't talked about it, but did anybody see the Thor? Like, has anybody?
Our boy Ken did. He was like, it was a movie. Apparently a lot of it is trying to recapture the Ragnarok magic without the magic. So it just kind of turns into like a quip comedy kind of thing.
So Taika struck a lightning and tried to recapture it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's sad.
And Gore is very disappointed compared to his comic book counterpart. So K20 is saying it's a solid 8.
Okay. That's
can't be worse than Dark World.
No, nothing can be worse than Dark World.
So,
no.
There's that.
Holy crap.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I had. So yeah, Avengers. I mean, I gotta catch up on some Marvel movies. It's fine. At this point, I'll watch it when
I'm over here crossing up fucking universes. So yeah, I'm totally out of sync here.
We'll see. I wouldn't hate a Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider though. Leave Nick Cage in the dust.
The only Ghost Rider you want is the one that rides the Rex. So I understand.
Yes, or the horse is cool too. I'm down for the horse. So, yeah. You want to show your shit?
Yeah. So that's pretty much it for us today, guys. Catch me at 6echoes.se@gmail.com. Send me your horror stories. My YouTube channel should be up. Just have a couple shorts on there, so nothing impressive. I'm working on getting more designs done for the Kamen Rider project. We were going over final forms the other day, and I think in a week or 2 we'll start getting some of those returned.
Sick.
Yeah, big things coming for that.
Cool.
Other than that, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. If you guys want to follow me, you probably know by now. It's at Kaiju Carl on Twitter. You can also follow twitch.tv/Kaiju Carl. If you're watching live, you're already here. Just make sure you hit follow. If you're watching in the future times or listening in the future times, what are you doing? Go over there. Participate live. It's a lot more fun. And yeah. One last little side note, not really have to do with the podcast. I forgot to mention I also played Exoprimal, that crazy dinosaur mech game. I got into the beta for that. It was fucking amazing. Yeah. So I got a video coming out for that. So
keep an eye out for that, guys.
Yeah, keep an eye out for that. Yeah. It's been fun. It's been a roller coaster of emotions because these episodes kind of suck. But yeah, that's Revice, yo. We'll touch it again when it's done. Deuces.
Later.